Billy Buh. What's up, KBJ? What's up, so shoddy? Oh shit! Thanks for the subscription, from dude. Oh my goodness, thank you. Oh shit, bro, I have my stream up, and I started clicking on my stream because it's capturing the game, and you know, unsurprisingly, I did not load my game by clicking on it. So I'm at 3K gems. I'm at 0. I finally bought the bundles. I finally bought every single bundle. The Dark Magician bundle, the K9 bundle, the other 2 bundles involving SP and IP. Like, finally, I am out of bundle jail. I was so, you know, I was forced. You know what I'm saying? MMSO bundle. So now I'm at 0 gems. Let me turn this shit off. But on my alt account, I'm at 9,000 gems. So I'm pretty happy about that. I don't think I'm gonna get Radiant Typhoon, but I think Visions is probably worth pulling for. It's gonna be UR, but maybe I just pull. I don't know. Can you turn up your mic just a little? Is it now? Right now? Or do you just want? Okay, I can turn it up. I'm just. How does it sound now? Because right now, if it sounds better here, it's still worth turning up the mic. Because are you gonna play anything from new pack? It's better now. Okay, it's not comfortable. Let me just. How about now? Can you? Okay, I can see it being kind of. All right. All right. Now, do you think it's better than before? Do we craft 3 Featherstorm? I don't know. I guess you can get a refund. It's good now? Okay. We might capture like a motorcycle or something like that, but I want Featherstorm from Oh, you can get a Featherstorm from there? I guess that makes sense. Oh my god. They might actually limit it, if I'm being honest. Alright. No, I don't think I'm going to play Radiant Typhoon. Goki does not interest me at all. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'll just hold out for a bit. I think I wanted to build Onomats, but maybe I try building that. Sure. Feel like you can risk the brick? Yeah, I'm not worried about it being a brick or anything like that. I'm pretty sure you have like 9 free slots or something like that. You say that Featherstone won't get touched? Okay. But I'm just saying, if you're building it with the hope that you get a refund in the future, it's probably. I think you have to accept that it is like if it's playable. I think you have to accept it's playable before hoping for, you know, like a gem refund. Oh, sorry, UR refund. Oh crap, what's needed for Sky Striker? Okay, it's probably gonna be UR, like the visions and shit. I can't wait to lose with it. All right, you can always cope on when we finally get Fallen in the Virtuous. You can always cope on that. Don't worry. You can always come up with that, John. If a Visions is not enough to put Striker. Harpy support that has anti-synergy with Featherstorm, like you die in the sun if you activate Trap. Vision definitely you are. Yeah, I think it's gonna be a chase card for sure. Like, I don't know. Radiant Type Sheena is such a cool card. Well, okay, no, actually it's really bullshit, but that's what makes it like it's actually a super bullshit card, but I don't think that's enough to convince me. All right. So, okay, what are my plans? I didn't mention it. Well, actually I did mention it in Discord, but I was going to space out 2 streams. One for you know, to wrap up Ace Attorney. I'm really excited for this case. It's probably it's held up really well in my memory. Was White Alphas and Fallen Virgins WR? Yeah. Oh my gosh. But Pocopia is already coming out. Yes, they actually named the game Cope. You can get it out of your system. I will play it directly after this playthrough. We're basically 2/3 of the way through. Actually, I think it's 3/4, but I think this is like. I will now forever refer to Habakiri as a habanero. Nice. Oh, I probably should decraft my Habakiri. Yeah. I've heard some good things about Pocopia though. It's not. I mean, okay. Genmu will hang it over my head. But she's reminded me at least twice that she's the one who was on the Pocopia train before everyone else. But I've already openly admitted that I wasn't interested at the beginning, and then once I heard more information, I was more interested. But she's not gonna let me live that down. Playing Cope right after peak is crazy work. Is this a case for K9? Yeah, it's a case for K9. Yeah, plus 900. Oh my god, I just realized. I mean that's pretty. To be honest, it's pretty standard. But like, what's it called? Oh yeah, I'll play Pocopia. I don't know what to expect. I'll just be honest. I've never grew up with Minecraft. I didn't own a computer, and in the second wave of Minecraft, or kind of like during COVID, I wasn't all on that either. So I actually don't understand the appeal, but that doesn't mean I'm like, ooh, what is this newfangled fad Fortnite? You know. So I just like, you know what, that was before my time. I'm pretty sure I would have got into it if I started RE9. Is it good? Can you defend Izuna at 3? Oh my god. Yeah, I think you could do it. Izuna, okay, it's annoying as fuck. I think it's Ripper. Ripper's big criminal. I'm not a huge fan of pointing fingers at like this is the issue because it's probably more of a symptom of a larger issue of design, like hand traps have to be more powerful nowadays because turn 1 is so powerful and all that shit, But okay. But if we're gonna do individuals and stuff, I think Ripper might need some help. Ripper, I hardly know her. Thank you, Satuna. I'll probably do 110 pull for the new pack. Okay. Good luck. I hope you get some good pulls. And I await your gifts if they turn out to be really good. I'm glad RE9 is good. How long has it been since the last RE game? Was it just been remakes? Or did they make RE8 after the remakes? Because I think they remade 4. I could imagine they remake 4 and then they drop RE9 like down the road. Free number 6-7. Yeah. Yeah, so okay, reason I had to change my plans because I was gonna space out 2 streams. I'm going out of town tomorrow and I have to practice for a driving exam. Zombie slop. Okay. RE4. Oh, that makes so much sense then. Okay, Capcom, you devious little basic marketing. Okay, you got it. Okay. All right. I hope I get 3 visions. Oh my god. Yeah. I already know what you're gonna post as soon as you fucking, even if you get 2. Okay. All right. Wait 1 second. All right. Okay. I will be right back. I will you want, okay, all right. Fine. I can do it later. All right. Every game they dropped after RE6 got overwhelmingly positive review on Steam. I heard RE6 was weird to me. I didn't really pay attention to the perception or anything like that. But I think I was just finding out about Resident Evil lore and stuff because I had like a friend yapping about it next to me. And I just like, okay, there's Umbrella Company, there's Albert Wesker, there's like a final boss that's a plant. And this guy was really passionate about Resident Evil. So like I didn't follow all of it, but yeah, like can't stop music. I heard the remakes were good at least. Biohazard looked really good. I remember watching a playthrough. Yeah. Biohazard looked really good. Yeah. 7-8. Okay. I need to finish this. I'm really excited to finish this case. Yeah. Good morning. Oh, are you by yourself? Ah, morning, Pearls. Mr. Nick, please tell me what's going to happen to Mystic Maya. I'm sorry, we don't know yet. The investigation is still going on, so I wasn't allowed into the inner temple. Oh, I see. So is Sister Iris still trying to remove those trick locks in the training hall? Oh, I guess recap. We finally finished all our investigations. We figured we heard, we don't know what actually happened in the murder. But we got mention of Morgan Fay and some feud between Morgan Fay, formerly like next in line to the Kurain channeling master channeling technique or whatever, but got usurped by her sister, Misty Fay. Kind of this, you know, someone who has only watched Naruto. Wow, I'm getting a lot of what's called Byakuga, like a Neji and Hinata vibes from this one. We found out that Iris and Dahlia Hawthorne are like sisters of Pearl. I forgot that detail, actually. That's actually kind of huge. All right, and then I guess we're gonna unravel what took place. And I imagine there's gonna be spirit channeling. Oh yeah, Pearl had some involvement in the spirit channeling, but she was not able to fulfill her role that was dictated by Morgan through a note. And okay, so it actually makes things more complicated. It would have been kind of simpler if Pearl was actually able to do everything. So I don't really remember. I just know the twist with the only thing I know is the twist with Godot, the twist with the painting that Larry makes. I love that so much. That's probably one. It's not like a what the fuck moment, but it just stuck with me. Like, it's just so funny how that shakes out. But yeah, I'll she's required to be here in court. Bug Saya ba Genmu kiss. All right, hello Nevion. Saya ba then how come she's not here in the defendant's lobby? I have to admit, it's kind of strange. If you're looking for Iris, she's in the prosecutor's lobby. Uh-oh, she's a witness. Edgeworth? What's Iris doing over there? She's going over today's testimony with the prosecutor as we speak. Today's testimony? You heard me. Iris is going to be testifying as a witness for the prosecution. Wait, what? The prosecution is squeezing her for a confession. Or so I heard. Franziska von Karma, what are you up to? I know what you're thinking, but Franziska is going to be the prosecutor today. Oh, Godot, that's right. What? Then who is? Who else would it be but Godot? Godot? Franziska is engaged in some important work at the Sacred Cavern. Sacred Cavern? You don't mean that she's... Exactly. She has been out there all night trying to remove those trick locks. With the head nun's assistance, naturally. We estimate that the last of the locks should be taken care of in about 3 hours. Hope everything continues to go smoothly and we receive some good news soon. Yeah, thanks, Edgeworth. Prosecutor Godot intends to nail this case shut today. You're prepared to fight like there's no tomorrow. You don't have to tell me that. Touche. I can already see it in your eyes. Francesca is engaged? Yeah, it's too late for whip enjoyers. It's a bad day to be a whip enjoyer. Yeah, she's taken. You're not the same fever-ridden, frantic maniac you were yesterday. It's strange. On the way here, I decided that today would be the end of all this. Almost immediately after I made the decision, I felt myself getting stronger. Interesting. Maybe you passed your cold onto someone else, literally. And with that, I leave the rest in your capable hands, partner. Thanks. I still don't have answers for most of the riddles plaguing this case. The circumstances around the murder of Miss Elise Donim, no, I mean Miss Misty Fay. The possible flight Larry claims to have seen. And what that woman is really after. I will solve them all and bring this whole tragedy to an end. This case really is like the Avengers of the previous games. Godot free though? Okay, that's true. Court is now in session for the trial of Iris of Hazakura Temple. Can you fix Godot? This is a broken man, bruh. Your Honor, what are you? Who? Me? Well, my little brother came to visit me in my chambers early this morning. All of a sudden, in the blink of an eye, he developed a scorching fever and fainted. Therefore, I'll be standing in for him. I see, Your Honor. So they're brothers. That explains a lot. My poor brother. He looked a bit pale, not to mention sad that he couldn't be here. It's impossible to predict what the future has in store for any of us. This is precisely why people feel the need to judge the past. We of the court have been charged with the solemn duty of passing such judgment. Wait, that's actually the first like actual coherent thing that he said. That wasn't like baked in like coffee references. Well said, Mr. Godot. I understood exactly what you said, at least up until the end anyway. Now then, Mr. Godot, please proceed with your opening statement. Humans are... Okay, now he's back on his bullshit. Humans are fragile, fickle beings. Our hearts change with the shifting of the tides. There's only one thing that remains a constant in this crazy world. Okay, he's gonna bring up his coffee. No way. The bitter darkness that lies at the bottom of this mug. So then you mean... forget it. What do you mean? During yesterday's trial, the accused refused to admit her role in the crime, but today she has had a change of heart. Sister Iris of Hazakura Temple has a confession to make. Confession? The defendant? Why didn't she discuss this with me first? Very well. This court will now hear the defendant's confession. Upon meeting a beautiful lady, always ask for her name and profession. Yeah, okay, Riz tips. My name is Iris. I am but a simple nun undergoing training at Hazakura Temple. Witness, is there something that you want to confess to? Yes. But first, I want to apologize to Mr. Wright. I can't continue lying to everyone anymore. It's alright, what is it? Mr. Wright, I have to admit that I did play a part in this terrible incident. Okay. Are you actually confessing? Are you saying that you were the one who murdered Miss Elise Donham? She's a nun, it's not gonna work. No, I'm not, Your Honor. But I dealt with the cover-up after the murder took place. What's her name and profession? Yeah, I guess it's Iris, and her profession is Hazakura nun or something. After her spirit left, I took the lifeless shell of Mystic Elise and carried it to the Hazakura Temple courtyard where I desecrated. I think that's like fair enough, right? Like, I don't think this isn't like, I mean, this could be like, how do I decide it? This is probably classic Phoenix, right? Yeah, she tampered with the body and staged this whole thing, but you know, she was probably already dead or something like that. Oh, I mean, she could probably just said that. I mean, there is some involvement, you know, for covering this shit up, but like, what? Order in the court. Order. Witness, are you saying you were an accomplice to the murder? Yes, that's correct. What? 3 minutes in court, and I'm already covered in a cold sweat. Ha! Everyone on the planet is an accomplice to something. It just happens to be that. In this case, it's murder. Wow, that's so profound, Godot. Yeah, I'm an accomplice to Cupsy. It just happens in this case. I don't know. It's so profound, bro. It's not right, Mr. Trite. So this is the confession they were conferring about. Pains me to say this, but it looks like Iris's testimony was all a lie. Okay, yeah, that. Dang, we used that as evidence before to prove her innocence. Goat no, yeah. Iris's testimony crumpled and shoved into a pocket. Don't we have to revisit those statements though? Like, okay, I know. Okay, if you ever watch like Real Lawyer reacts to Cupsy's accomplices to multiple war crimes. Cupsy stare. How I describe it, like, I'm not trying to be like those lawyers who'd be like, actually, this is too ridiculous to happen in court or whatever. But like, I guess that's in the past. I guess they're like, they've already made so much progress, and he's trying to indict. But I don't know. I'm not gonna worry about it too much. Now then, actually, this doesn't even bother me that much compared to Rise from the Ashes, where a guy was attempting to break into a case and only got into it literally because the censor was was broken and like blocked by a rubber glove because, you know, whatever signal that was supposed to be transmitted. That actually bothers me so much. I really am like, I get it's Phoenix, right? And dumb luck happens, but like one of the I think that one of the reasons why people hate the circus one is because the circus, besides Diddy Disciples, is the circumstances of like how the cape got on the bus and treated and like validated everyone's testimonies despite being like contradictory. Think about American cartoons, you don't need to know much about cartoons or America to write them. True. What if your specialty in the court is rage baiting? Oh my god, yeah. Iris was covering for someone? Now I'm definitely up the creek without a paddle or a life jacket. I've been at Hazakura Temple ever since I was a little girl. Hazakura Temple is run by one of the branch families of the Korean tradition. One of our missions is to protect the main family. I'm sorry, but main family? Yes. That's why I would dirty myself need me to protect her. The daughter of the master of the Korean channeling technique, Mystic Maya Fey. Huh. Wake up and smell the coffee, right? She's naming Maya? Order in court. So not only did you witness the murder, you know the name of the murderer? I'm terribly sorry, but it's true. I saw her commit the crime with my very own eyes. And then I cleaned up the area to try to protect her. Okay. That might be cap, okay? I mean, clearly, it's like Maya being accused for like the 5th time. The defense will refrain from commenting until the appropriate time. Now, witness, let's hear your testimony. What exactly happened on the night of the crime? Yes, Your Honor. I thought I was prepared for the unexpected, but I never imagined the case would wind up going in this direction. I went to the inner temple that night, and I saw it all happen in the garden. I saw Mystic Elise strike Mystic Maya with her staff, and while Mystic Maya was still stumbling, Mystic Elise moved in to deliver a fatal strike. Mystic Maya tried desperately to defend herself and stole the weapon. It was only in self-defense. You can't blame her for it. Oh, you know what? So it was in self-defense? Yes. Mystic Elise was the one who attacked first. That's why I tried my best to protect Mystic Maya. You moved the victim's body to the temple so that Maya wouldn't be suspected. Isn't that right? Not bad. You've got the instincts of a true criminal. Something's not quite right. I'm sure it was established yesterday. It's probably the murder weapon. That Iris never went to the inner temple that night. And that the person who did go was that woman. Iris even admitted it. Now then, Mr. Wright, please proceed with your cross-examination. I went to the inner temple that night, saw it all happen in the garden. Strike Mystic Maya with her staff. Moved in to deliver a fatal strike? How? She wouldn't deliver a fatal strike? Yes, I'm sure of it. She threw down her staff and reached in her robe for a weapon. Oh, wait a minute. What was this weapon? It was some kind of dagger. A dagger, huh? And Miss Elise Donim tried to stab her with this weapon? To kill Miss Faye? Yes, exactly. Ha! You look like I did it after... You look like I did after I mistakenly took a swig of the Worcestershire sauce. The real murderer is Cupsy. All right, Cupsy. We can do a trial for Cupsy later. All right. Right now, we gotta get to the truth. Do you have a problem with the testimony we're hearing from your client, lawyer boy? Do I have a problem with testimony? Yes. Like the murder weapon is even correct. Your Honor, I have a small problem with this witness's testimony. You do? I was not Mystic with a cool epithet before, but I realized it's more like a job title. True. But this witness is your own client. Yes, well, then nevertheless, that's fine. Witness, let's add your last statement to testimony. Yes, sir. Hey, just a moment. It's my job to say that. Listen, Gramps, I won't say it again. Final judgment will be rendered by me. Okay, now let's continue. I love how people just get away with, like, bullying the judge. Okay, yeah, we just present the murder weapon. This is the true murder weapon. Objection! Sister Iris, there's something strange about your version of events. Huh? Miss Donim throwing her staff away makes no sense at all to me. But all you can do with the staff is hit someone. Naturally, you wouldn't know this, Sister Iris, but the victim staff had a special feature about it. As you can see, it's a sword. Ah! If Elise Donim really had wanted to kill Maya Fey, she wouldn't have needed to use a separate dagger. Not when she already had a beautiful blade in her hands already. Well, Sister Iris, what do you have to say? That was an impressive bit of investigating, Trite. I would never would have thought there was a sword hidden in that staff, but no one else did. I think we literally just got lucky because Bumshoe gave us the metal detector. Even so, how should I put this? A long sword is unwieldy and thus quite ineffective in close quarters combat. Maybe that's why she chose to drag her over blade. You know what? But you still have to, don't you still have to like provide the dagger if that's a murder weapon? Like that's still like, no, this is plausible for sure, but Jimshoe the goat, yeah. Well, anyway, the type of weapon she chose to use isn't what's important. Important thing is that she tried to kill Maya Fey. As long as there's nothing strange about that, there's no problem with her testimony. But there is something strange about this whole testimony. Well, Mr. Wright, prosecution has a point. Well, Your Honor, the defense will now present evidence to back its argument. Mr. Wright, I have another piece of evidence that shows this testimony can be trusted. Because Miss Lee Donim would never attempt to take the life of Maya Fey. Is it because they're like the mother? Didn't know the mystics were prepared to run the Fey? I know, right? Oh my god. They're like It Man practicing a... Who has seen that one scene where It Man takes on like 10 dudes? I think it's this. Oh, actually, is it? Maybe it's profile. I think the link is the mom. Oh, what the? Here. I think it's this. Elise Donim would never have attacked Maya Fey. How can you be so sure? Because the victim's real name was not Elise Donim. Her real name was Misty Fey. Fey? Ah, no, not Mystic Misty Fey. Who is this Misty Fey? Oh, this makes sense too. Okay, like... I like this because it's like, okay, it introduces a link. You could always argue like, oh, what if Misty Fey hates her child guts or whatever. You know, you'd always do that. But what I like about this is Iris specifically said she's there to protect the main branch family, right? And Misty Fey is part of that. So it like makes no sense to like she's already the master. Their name changed after she got married? I guess so. But like I think that's what they're gonna do. Misty Fey is the master of the Korean channeling technique. She is also the mother of Maya Fey. Are you serious? Is it really true, Mr. Wright? Was Elise Donim actually the great mystic Misty? There's no doubt about it. It looks like Iris had no idea. I can hardly believe it. The idea that she would try to kill her only daughter, one she hadn't seen in 17 years. Perhaps the prosecution can offer some explanation for why she would do such a thing. I mean, I'm pretty sure Godot could cook something up with this. Like, this is like... I think the main thing is literally because Iris said she'd do anything to predict the... Well, I mean, she didn't know, I guess. Ugh. Order in the court. Upon first hearing the witness' testimony, it seemed natural enough. However, in light of some facts that have just been presented, 1, that the victim supposedly threw away a sword during the event, and 2, that the people battling to the death were mother and daughter. Despite the facts being believable when taken on their own, taken together, this entire story seems difficult to believe. Listen, there's nothing in the world that is impossible except for one little thing. Oh my god. What is the one little... He's just gonna bring up coffee, bruh. Ha! You still don't get it. Or maybe he's gonna say some Nietzsche stuff about human nature. You think maybe my beans are under roasted, but you have no idea, Gramps. Could you get to your point? I heard this witness confession this morning, just as I had taken my first sip of coffee. You're gonna ruin your health, my friend. Anyway, after hearing this woman's confession, I had a detective who loves to investigate sent to the scene of the crime, and he discovered this little beauty. Okay, so okay, there finally. Okay, this is that the dagger the witness testified to seeing? Obviously, Your Honor. But do you notice something else? Now that you mention it, there appears to be blood on it. He looks dope. This guy goat dough. But where did you find? Yeah. He goes. Yeah, his design goes pretty hard. I didn't see that when I investigated the crime scene. He's really smooth too. Like, did you investigate? The only thing is like he says some bullshit about coffee, like philosophical bullshit about coffee. You're just like, what the fuck is bro saying? But no, but he's cool. He's cool. You investigate the pine tree at the crime scene. Huh? The pine tree? Bro should have looked harder. This dagger was stuck in the backside of the pine tree. Or when the last blow was struck, ending the violent battle between the two women. This little baby was thrown in the direction of the back of the pine tree, bro. Which means, ah! Ha! Were you even listening, old man? Bro should have looked hard. That's on you, Phoenix. R.I.P. I first heard this confession this morning. I had taken the first sip of my 13th cup of morning coffee. Did you say it was your 8th just a few minutes ago? I didn't have enough time to get the blood analyzed on such short notice. In any case, the court will accept the dagger as evidence. Furthermore, I ordered that a blood test be performed on it immediately. This is my sweetheart. Make sure you treat her right. Bailiff, get this piece of evidence to the crime lab for testing immediately. Okay. Now then, the testimony we've just heard had numerous unbelievable aspects to it. However, after having found the very dagger the witness spoke of, I believe we can consider her testimony to be credible, okay? Cute girls never lie. Ever. Alright, is this true, guys? Can anyone testify to this to be the case? In any case, witness, if you could please testify again to this court. What about... about what, Your Honor? About the incident you saw, the battle between the two women. Yes, Your Honor. Mystic Maya stumbled briefly after being hit over the head with staff, but then she dodged Mystic Elise's next attack and solar weapon. Suddenly, Mystic Elise was the one on the defensive with her back to the stone lantern. That's when Mystic Maya stabbed Mystic Elise. Mystic Elise managed to fling the knife away, but then she collapsed. That was a very heartbreaking story. I don't know if there were any bad feelings between them, but it had been 17 years since Mystic Missy's disappearance. Perhaps they simply didn't recognize each other anymore. That seems reasonable. Now then, Mr. Wright, proceed with your cross-examination. Mystic Maya stumbled briefly after being hit. Okay. Dodged. Elise stole her weapon. Okay. With her back to the stone lantern. Stabbed Mystic Elise. Then she collapsed. Seems like a reasonable story at first, but there's one thing that's completely impossible. Very idea of Maya stabbing someone. Okay. That alone is impossible, which means this false testimony, the testimony must contain another contradiction. Well, I mean, he's just doing the believe in your witness type thing. Or like believe in your whatever. Da, 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 da. Then she collapsed. Didn't she fall 10 feet though? Here, let me see the autopsy report. Does this I think doesn't that still need to be explained? Where's the autopsy report? After death, okay. I guess not. Da, 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 da. Wait, let me check the autopsy report again. Was she stabbed in the back? Did that make? Yeah, stabbed in the back. Okay, easy. Well, okay. Did they mention with her back to the stone lantern? Okay, do we? Okay, so this establishes she was stabbed in the front. Okay, I guess this is the actual stabbing. Okay, yeah, it's just autopsy report. Okay. Objection! Something about you just isn't right today, Iris. Huh? And so now I didn't think you were the type to make such a careless mistake. However, the testimony you just gave contains quite a few contradictions. What do you mean? What is so wrong about my testimony? According to you, Maya Fey stabbed the victim while she had her back to the stone lantern, correct? Yes, that's right. But in that case, the victim would have been stabbed in the stomach, right? Yes, I think so. But according to the autopsy report, the cause of death was due to blood loss from a stab wound in her back. Ah! This proves that the victim was stabbed from behind, not from the front. It's also like the Shishishito also was pierced from the back too. So I feel like if I don't know. I guess I don't know. I don't know. Maybe she was trying to replicate that. Sister Iris, it appears another seed of doubt has sprouted from your testimony. Ah! What? What is the meaning of this, Mr. Wright? Ha! It's simple. People are like books. We've all got a front and back. You get my drift? True. Is that all you have to say? I can also say that darkness loves to play with the human mind. Could you please knock it off with the cheesy proverbs and illogical metaphors already? The point is, too much of this testimony just doesn't make sense. Throwing away a useful staff, people fighting back, the people fighting be mother and daughter, and now she falsely claims the victim was stabbed in the stomach. There certainly are some inconsistencies. Well, Iris, how about it? Well, it's just... If you ask me, you're just being too naive about the whole thing. What do you mean? Sister Iris, are you connected to Google Dolls? There are 253 distinct types of bitterness in coffee, but to pick out each one requires total concentration and use of all senses. Were we really concentrating on what this witness actually said? Prosecutor Godot, explain yourself. The witness was quite unambiguous about her own ambiguities when she said that the garden was dark, that she couldn't see clearly. Okay. A human needs one thing to see clearly, and that is light. Light? Isn't there a stone lantern? Are we being for real? There's a stone lantern. Is it not on or something? We even make a point of that. Hazakura has a rule that on nights when an acolyte is at the inner temple training, the stone lantern in the garden must be kept lit. I did wonder what the stone lantern was there for. Well, if that's true, shouldn't the witness have been able to see the crime more clearly? Normally, yes, Your Honor, but according to the head nun, Sister Bikini, on the night of the crime, it was impossible to light that stone lantern. Impossible. It hadn't been used in a long time and the wick was no good. In other words, it had to have been nearly pitch black in the garden at night. Okay, my bad. There could have been a faint light coming from the training hall, but that's all. Most likely. Yes, that illuminating fact has chased all the contradictions away. Okay, I think this still like... why are you relying on her testimony if it's like, actually, she couldn't see very well. If the staff was dropped, it would be difficult to see. It also explains why they didn't recognize each other. Okay, that could be true. We can't see the demons that lurk in the night. That's why humans are weak. Isn't that right, Trite? No! Damn, he really cooked something up. All right. I guess he's talking about the individuals fighting. Order. Here, Your Honor. Let me present the stone lantern into evidence. Maybe it will rekindle the flame of truth in your mind. Was not lit during the night of crime. Okay. Why is the judge just sitting there with that look on his face? What's wrong, Your Honor? Was that flame too hot? This lantern. There's something written on it. Oh my god. The classic. Oh, classic. Oh yeah, the person in their last moments wrote their name. Has that ever worked? I feel like we've always had to debunk this. Well, why? It's written in blood. Oh boy. So the judge didn't know about that yet. Written in blood? It says Maya upside down. What the? Oh, that's a spoiler. How he didn't know. He didn't know about the blood. That's a spoiler. Oh yes, that's right. That's yeah. There's a reason why he couldn't see the blood. After being cornered and then stabbed by Mystic Maya, Mystic Elise didn't fall down right away. He must have been writing that. She must have been writing that on the stone lantern behind her, with the blood that was draining out of her body. Certainly looks that way. Hang on just a minute. What are you all talking about? What do you mean, we all talking about? We're talking about the message written in blood. Nonsense. This lantern, it's as clean as a whistle. Could it be? He can't see the bloody writing at all? Now that I think about it, he did say something to me yesterday. My eyesight is pretty messed up. Even with these huge goggles on my head, I still can't see everything. So that's what he meant by that. In any case, this is obviously an important clue. We know that the crime scene was dark, and that the victims scrawled this message on the stone lantern. Well, Mr. Godot, anything further? Mr. Godot? Okay then. Let's move on. Godot's literally shaking somehow. I don't think it's from caffeine overdose. I believe it has now been established that Miss Nim was killed by Maya Fey. That's just wrong. Now it's time to turn our attention to you. Yes, sir. After the victim died, you did something, didn't you? Let's hear it. We're all ears. After Mystic Elise died, I called out to Mystic Maya. Thought it was my duty to protect the future master of the Korean tradition. So I removed the body from the inner temple by myself, dragged it behind me all the way across Dusky Bridge, used a snowmobile to carry it back to Hazakura Temple. She couldn't have, right? We need a... Okay, what's the timeline here? Because I'm actually a little bit lost. But I imagine she couldn't cross the bridge, right? It's on fire. I used the Shichishito to alter the way the wound looked. So you moved the body? Yes, I was raised at Hazakura Temple. I owe a great deal of thanks to the Fey clan. But even so, I never imagined that Elise... I don't know why I'm trying to do a silent S. Elise Donim was actually Miss Ife. I've committed a terrible sin. A terrible trick of fate. I believe you're looking for twists of fate, Your Honor. I intend to return to the inner temple after taking care of the body. But you were spotted by the head nun, correct? Yes, and that's why I couldn't go back. Your story makes sense, I suppose. Mr. Wright, go ahead with your cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. After Mystic Elise died, I called out Mystic Maya. That was my duty to protect the future. Okay. Move the body. Okay. Let's just press this. It's pretty amazing you can make it all the way across. That's a rickety old bridge. It looks worse than it is. It's surprisingly sturdy despite its age. Like they say, it starts too stupid to catch even a simple cold. But there's one thing that bothers me. Why not throw the body into the Eagle River? It would have been much easier dragging it all the way to Hazakura Temple. I thought that would still cast too much suspicion on Mystic Maya. That's true, right? It's missing, and her last whereabouts, right? Like if you associate it with her last sighted location, like okay, there's only a few suspects that could like you could say it is. That's why I try to take the body as far as possible. Ha! Makes perfect sense to me. For the time being. Anyway, what did you do after you crossed the bridge? Did I use snowmobile to carry it back? I need a... No, I knew that would show up sooner or later. Yes, I had the key. I used snowmobile to travel from Hazakura Temple to Dusky Bridge. This is the part that was in question the other day. Should I ask for more details? Oh, hell yeah. Oh, maybe... You really did move her body by snowmobile. Then there should be tracks left in the snow, right? Yes, naturally you would expect tracks. This picture was presented at yesterday's trial. Are these the tracks from that ride? Yes, I think they are. But I can only see one set of tracks here. I don't see what's so strange about that. Snow was still falling when I left. Bro! I see. Snow was still falling, huh? And then when the murder took place, it already stopped. Okay, whatever. That's why there are still such fresh looking tracks. How about it, Mr. Wright? What do you think about this? I think it's very important. When the murder took place, the snow had already stopped. That doesn't make sense if you stack it up against the other evidence. Your Honor, I like the statement Iris just made added to the testimony. But does it have something to do with the case? All will be made clear if you allow our statement to be added to the record. Is it just weather data? Like, are we just gonna present because? Let's get this snow business cleared up, shall we? Yes, sir. The snow had already stopped. Let me look the weather data again. 10:50. And then she was murdered around... When was she... Let me check the autopsy report. Okay, 10 to 11. Da, 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 da. Objection! Fuck. Da, da, da. Okay, let me look at the rest. It's probably the weather data, though, if we're gonna... I don't want to believe it, but I don't think my logic is failing me. I was trying to pin the murder on Maya. Well, why would you want to do that? There's only one reason I can think of. Oh, is this Dahlia Hawthorne the whole time? That's kind of crazy. That might be it. The snow already stopped. Does this... Yeah, okay, it should have been burnt. Wait, she do have the haircut, that's true. Wait. By the time the murder took place, the snow had already stopped, right? Okay, I think it is, okay, it is the weather data. So let's say it's 10:50 when it died, when she died, like, right, immediately after she died at 10:50, assuming. But even 11 p.m., that's the absolute latest it could have been. But it's impossible, because they couldn't cross the bridge, because at 15 minutes before the latest possible moment, it was on fire. Okay, because of this statement... She couldn't drag it. Okay, yeah, that's what they want me to do. Okay, that was tricky. Oh. Yes! You claim that the snow had already stopped when the murder occurred. I hate these timetables, especially on a text-based game, bro. I'm not taking notes, though. So that's probably the other thing. What? This is the weather data from the night of the murder. According to this, the snow didn't stop until 10:50. But you couldn't have crossed Dusky Bridge at the time. Well, why do you say that? Because 5 minutes before the snow stopped, the Dusky Bridge was struck by lightning and had caught on fire. Not noted, true. What did you say? The bridge, it was on fire? You don't mean to say you didn't know about it? It was because of that lightning strike that the bridge burned down. What? But it can't be. It can't be. Looks like you still haven't figured it out. No matter how hard you try to deceive or conceal the truth, you can't pull the wool over the eyes of a real defense attorney. No! Da, 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 da. Order. The bridge was already on fire when the incident took place. That's right. The inner temple was already totally cut off from the outside world. There's no way you could have crossed the bridge, body or no body. Makes sense. Witness, even my patience has its limits. Any further lying and I will find you in contempt of court. Do you have anything to say for yourself? The only person here that is truly contemptible is you. Old man. Me? How dare you? Whether the witness lied or not does not mean squat right now. Squat? The important thing now is to find out the truth. Isn't that right? Yes, of course, but whether it was snowing or not snowing, or whether the bridge was burning or not, there are two facts that can't be disputed. First, the body of Elise Donim was discovered in the Hazakura temple courtyard. And second, the head nun, Sister Bikini, witnessed Iris desecrating Elise Donim's body. He makes a good point on both accounts. That's right, I'm not lying. What are you claiming this time? I wasn't myself at all this night, so my memory is still somewhat hazy. Oh my god. You have stood at that witness stand and testified this entire time. Are you telling us now that your memory of that night is hazy? It is only human to err. If you're so perfect, Trite, maybe you can explain this for the court. Well, what is it? When the murder happened, the bridge had already burnt down. But somehow the body traveled across the bridge and was found in the temple courtyard. Perhaps you have some kind of perfect explanation for this little magic trick. Well, not exactly, no. I know there must be some other way she got across the burnt out bridge. But unless I can somehow demonstrate it, we'll never know the truth. Looks like the defense is not prepared to offer a suitable explanation. You see what I mean? In other words, you're in no position to suggest that this lady's testimony isn't the truth. Ah! Alright then. Witness, let's hear your testimony once more. About what, Your Honor? You've admitted that you moved the victim's body. Nevertheless, your prior testimony contained a rather large inconsistency. Please add an explanation for that to your testimony. Yes, Your Honor. Will this be her final testimony? True. It's going to be over. The game is going to wrap up immediately after this. Other than walking over the bridge, there's no way to move the body. So I must have just gotten confused, I guess. Was the snow still falling or had it stopped? Does it really matter that much? Or are you saying that there's a way to cross the burning bridge? Alright, I think we pressed that statement. So it was just a misunderstanding, I see. This is a photo of Dusky Bridge after it burned down from a lightning blast. It was taken on the morning after the incident. It certainly was burned to a crisp, and when the suspension wires even snapped. It's amazing the whole bridge didn't fall. Clearly, it would be impossible to carry a corpse across a bridge in this condition. Unless I do something to discredit this testimony, it's going to be deemed as the truth, and Maya will be accused of murder. Trite, I'm only going to say it one more time. It is only human to err, and only humans can spot the errors of our ways. Wait, he's spitting? The more sense he makes, the less sense he makes. Alright, Mr. Wright. Please begin your final cross-examination. Da, da, da. Da, da, da. Okay, let's practice. I don't see why there couldn't be a way across. Mr. Wright, don't you think that sounds a bit silly? A dead body crossing the burning bridge. Did anyone actually witness such a thing? Oh, yeah. It's gotta be... It's Larry. This is Larry. The sketch. Ha! If there was, I don't think you'd call someone like that a witness. Bro, it's Larry. Larry always comes clutch in the most diabolical ways. After all, a dream isn't the same as actually seeing something. I've come all this way, so I owe it to everyone to figure this out. How do you transport a body across a burning bridge? Even if I don't know the exact answer yet, it's okay. I'll start by examining all my evidence and see where that takes me. I gotta be like a shark. If I don't keep moving, I'm as good as dead. I think we present this Larry sketch. Okay. Horrible sketch of what he saw at the night crime. It's not even that bad. It looks nice. Alright, let's go. Time to bullshit our way into finding what actually happened. A dead body flying over a burning bridge. I wouldn't exactly rule out the possibility. What? Ha! You're saying it's possible? Don't make me laugh. The only thing that's possible about your claim is that it's been pulled out of thin air. I heard a story about two people waiting on someone named Godot. Nothing happens. They just spend time yapping about random stuff. Maybe that's why Godot is always yapping random stuff. That's probably, yeah, that might be a bit like the localizations have some like funny I always find the localization of this game very interesting because there's always some like anecdote or some like little inside joke or something like that that's probably why. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if that's the reason why he's like that. I don't know about that. In any case, we have a witness who did see it. What happened? Imposters! Bro, spit take. Who is it? Who is this witness? I can't chicken out here. I gotta keep on the attack and go. Mr. Elise Donim's brilliant and highly gifted apprentice, Laurice Donim. Brilliant, highly gifted apprentice? Remember what he said in his testimony. That night, he was at the Mountain Shack, Heavenly Hall. That's when he witnessed the event. And I think you've all seen the sketch before. It's the exact drawing of what he witnessed that night. Poor Godot is a seminal absurdist tragic comedy by Samuel Beckett, Waiting for Godot, about two tramps, Vladimir Estragon, who endlessly on a desolate road for a mysterious figure named Godot who never arrives. Mr. Wright, are you seriously claiming that the victim flew through the air? And you're using this pathetic scribble to support your argument? Uh-oh, the judge looks like he's about to blow a gasket. Ha! Well, try it. There's nothing for you to hide now. Other than looking like it was drawn by a 6-year-old. Does this sketch prove anything? Yes, I'm pretty sure it does, and I'm going to prove it. Listen, I know your tricks. You're trying to turn this whole thing upside down. Oh, foreshadowing. I'm sorry, I already know the twist now. If you're so eager to turn this case upside down, why not start with the sketch? Upside down? Why did Godot say that? All right, then let's hear the defense's theory. What exactly is the sketch trying to show? I don't think old Whiskerface is going to forgive any more mistakes. All right, Phoenix, look carefully and think it over. Sketch drawn by Maurice Donim is complete contradiction. Something's obviously funny about the sketch. I'm no art critic, but even I can see that. No, that's not what I mean, Your Honor. Maurice Donim stated over and over that this sketch was exactly as he saw it. However, if we're to believe his testimony, then the sketch contradicts reality as we know it. It contradicts reality. Ha! This is getting interesting. Looks like you're back to that finger pointing thing again. Okay, Trite. What exactly contradicts the flying, right? This flying figure, naturally. After all, people haven't learned to fly yet, or did I miss something? Mr. Wright, the answer just now. It was lethal. What? After dragging us all the way to this point, oh my god. Point to something else. Okay. It's the support wires, right? Okay, hold on. Let me double check. The suspension wires. Oh, I can't look. Okay, fine. I'll click on this. It's this wire connected to the bridge. The wire? Ha! Is that the thing that contradicts reality? It is indeed. Then show us the reality it supposedly conflicts with. We just showed the photo. Where's the... We literally just got the photo. Yeah. We have like a little... Yeah, the suspension bridge. Yeah, the wires run underneath. Yes, now compare the sketch and the photo for a minute. In the sketch, the wires appear to be above the guard wires. On the actual Dusky Bridge, jumping Jehoshaphat, the wires are below the guard wires. What? Order. The sketch is somewhat different than what's depicted in the photo. However, isn't it likely that the artist just saw it wrong? Or perhaps he just drew it wrong? Either way, it sounds like you're just wrong. Great Scott, Graphica. With someone like Maurice, I admit a mistake is a definite possibility. But in that begs the question, why did he make a mistake? What was the reason? Are you saying you know the answer to that? Listen, think back, alright. Remember what Maurice was doing when he witnessed the event. He was at Heavenly Hall waiting for a lover that was never going to come. He waited and waited, and finally he laid down. But then, lightning shoots from the sky and sets the bridge aflame. Now ponder what sort of position Maurice must have been in at the time. He was lying on his back, which is why he remembered the scene the way he did. He was lying on his back. I can see how it relates. But it does, Your Honor. That is the reason why the wires in the sketch go up instead of down. Ah! Ugh, no way. Maurice Donim witnessed the event while he was lying on his back, face up. In other words, the scene was actually upside down. So then, this sketch should actually... I think you finally get it, Your Honor. The correct way to view Maurice Donim's sketch is like this. This is how it should actually look. The victim's body wasn't flying above the bridge. It was actually swinging below. That's right. Just like a pendulum. Ridiculous. Order? Of all the things to say, a pendulum? The bridge was burning to a crisp. There's no way to get across it. But if the body had been found at the inner temple, it would have caused problems. Yeah, pendulum. Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh mentioned. This is where the criminal decided to take a gamble. They used the burning bridge to get the body across to the other side. And the pendulum was the only way to get it done. Objection. Let's think about this for a minute, shall we? Dusky Bridge is about 20 yards long, which means about that far from the inner temple to the opposite cliff. Yes, that sounds right. By the way this works out is like it's still so risky. But I guess you don't lose anything because even if he doesn't cross the bridge, it goes in the river and it's like, okay, I guess it's not my problem anymore. I guess you deal with the suspicion. In order to cover the distance of the pendulum, you need a rope at least 10 yards long. To get a rope that long, you have to plan ahead. Da, 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 da. The lightning strike that night can only have been an accident, so it doesn't make sense the culprit would have prepared the rope beforehand. Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's true. Sleeping with the fishies, yeah. The fish. So then... Oh, hold on. Here, fine. Okay, found my phone. I was like worried. They didn't have to get the rope ready. The rope was already right in front of them. I'm guessing it's a suspension wire that snapped, eh? What? I'm saying that it was just a matter of using what was already there. In that case, Mr. Wright, please give us an explanation to support your theory. What makes you think the criminal had the rope on hand to create a pendulum? We just show the photo. Yeah. And the meaning of this is, if you want to know where the rope came from, it's hanging right there in front of your glorious beard. Ah! This is one of the wires from the bridge. When the lightning struck the bridge and set it on fire, one of the suspension wires came loose from its anchor. The criminal didn't have any time to waste, so they tied the wire around Lee Stonehim's body. Dude. Whee! Oh my god. Because there was simply no other way to move the body. Ha! Mr. Godot? Seems that Mr. Godot is more focused on his coffee than answering my question. It seems that the odds of a rope being readily available were very high. So I suppose that's not an impossibility after all. Objection. Possible or impossible? That's not the question we need to ask. Therefore, only one question. There's only one question. Did that really happen? That's right. If you can prove what happened to us, you have any actual evidence that the body was swung over like a pendulum. Do we just show the photo again? Here's the proof. Oh my god. The criminal decided to use the pendulum method as a last resort. Pendulum was mistaken. Here's why. True. Thank you, Team APS. I'm kidding. They don't actually say that shit, but... There's a good chance there's still a clue from when or where the... it's the body landed. Okay, it's the autopsy report. He fell 10 feet. So here's a toast to your ever so classic clueless look. Try. I wonder if you can prove what happened to us. You have any actual evidence? Yeah, it's an autopsy report. Ah, yeah. Yeah, body fell 10 feet after death. Because this is the body being moved after death. Before I present my evidence, let me review what we know so far. According to this photos, one of the wires snapped. Looking at the map, we can see it's the one that was... This only works if this was like a higher elevation, too. Like, so much has to go right for this to work, but I guess it's fine. We can see it's the one that's in front of the inner temple. So then what was the spot where the criminal... Yes, precisely. Now let's consider the body's movement by looking at the overhead map. If the body was pushed from this point here... Whee! It would drop on the opposite bank at approximately this point. Did you say drop? Well, they must have failed to catch the body on the other bank. What? What makes you think something like that happened? Because I have evidence that suggests her body dropped some distance. What kind of evidence? Take a look at this autopsy report. So that means whoever was on the other side could also not cross, unless they did the pendulum. So it was more like Iris met up with the body, with the snowmobile or some shit. She was still on the other side at the temple or something like that. It says that here that so she couldn't have witnessed Iris, if she was the one who transported her to the snowmobile and then staged the killing, she couldn't have witnessed the actual death. I guess that's what we're gonna end up doing. It says here that her body fell about 10 feet after death. Then 10 feet, huh? That's most likely the height difference between the two sides. The body overswung due to forward momentum, but then came loose and fell about 10 feet. And then, as a result of the landing impact, its crystal sphere was knocked loose. Yes, this bloodstained amethyst crystal. It's the one that came off Miss Elise Donim's staff. And even more important is the place where this crystal sphere was found. Indeed. The crystal was found... Precisely, Your Honor. In the very spot where the pendulum would arrive if given the right amount of speed. This explains your theory quite well, Mr. Wright. You have provided us with the way the body could have moved that night. An impressive deduction, Mr. Wright. Most impressive. Mr. Wright. I thought this cold coffee might help cool you down. What is the meaning of this, Mr. Godot? That was a dark and bitter guess that you made, Trite. But you forgot about one thing. Oh? What would that be? The aroma. Huh? A coffee's most reliable accomplice is its deep and profound aroma. The rest of the court doesn't speak Coffinese. Can you elaborate a bit more? If the criminal had sent the body to the other side, like you say, then naturally there must have been an accomplice lying in wait to catch it. An accomplice? The criminal wasn't able to cross Dusty's bridge. So who collected the body? What do you have to say about that, Trite? Mr. Godot is correct. This can't be the work of a single... Yeah, it has to be. Well, Mr. Wright, you know what you must do. Yes, Your Honor. Body couldn't have made it to Hazakura Temple without accomplice. There you go. If you please, Mr. Wright. Who was the person that received the body? Yeah, it's Iris. So, like, maybe it does corroborate her earlier testimony. Yeah, it's got to be Iris. Iris. It was the infamous Cupsy Yummy. Using... Oh my god. I was gonna make it like a Cupsy Yummy way joke involving like tagging out or something like that, but I'm not clever enough. Can only be used, Sister Iris. Huh? Like some like Cupsy Yummy way transport system or something. But I don't see why you're so surprised. The only way to transport the body from Dusky Bridge is by snowmobile. But with her bad back, Sister Bikini could never pick a body like that. You're the only one that could have imagined. Try it. Were you even listening to the witness's testimony? On the night of the crime, this little cutie pie was on... Bro, did you just snuck in a cutie pie, like, unprompted? Bruh. Was on cleanup duty in the inner temple garden after the mother-daughter bloodbath. I haven't forgotten, but have you, Mr. Godot? This witness was also seen at Hazakura Temple, desecrating the corpse of the victim. Strange indeed. It's almost as if, on that night, the defendant was in two different places at the same time. Cyrus, let me ask you something. Why did you mention it when you first gave your... Why didn't you mention it when you first gave your testimony? Mention what? Pendulum, of course. Using the sketch drawn by night witness, I have established how the body was moved using burnt out bridge, which means it's now a fact that this occurred, something you should have already known. No, I had no idea. I didn't know anything about a pendulum. But the body couldn't have been passed along to the other side without your help. You should have known about it. In fact, it'd be impossible for you to be clueless about this whole thing, unless you're not really Iris to begin with. What? How can you say that, Mr. Wright? Orm. What kind of nonsense is this? You're saying that this witness isn't Iris of Hazakura Temple? Okay, so she did witness it, but she's just Dahlia. She did witness what happened. Witness, quote unquote. Are you serious, Trite? You mean this woman is? There's no one besides Iris that could receive the corpse that night. Now I get it. Now I know why I've been sick to my stomach this whole trial. That's why her demeanor changed so suddenly from yesterday. And why she's trying to pin this murder on Maya. The woman that's standing there at the witness stand? Her real name is... Okay, it's Dahlia Hawthorne. Alright. Easy. I never thought I'd have to utter your name again, let alone see you. It's been a long time, Dahlia Hawthorne. Hawthorne? Sister Iris had a twin sister. And you're looking at her, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. That name rings some bells. Distant bells, but bells nonetheless. Ha! It's just your imagination, Gramps. This file contains all the relevant data about Dahlia Hawthorne. Oh yes, I remember now. The case 5 years ago. My name is Dahlia Hawthorne. I just want to say it's an honor for me to be here in your noble presence. The honor is all mine. No, the honor is all mine. But according to this, Dahlia Hawthorne is already dead since her execution was carried out last month. Freaking pain, dude. I know. So what? Death has no meaning in this courtroom. He should talk, yeah. What? Order. Well, wait a moment. How can you? My sister. She's already dead. What kind of... You of all people should already understand, after all. The blood of the master of the Korean channeling technique flows within that body. The Korean channeling technique. Now, where have I heard that? That's right. You're not Dahlia Hawthorne herself. You're the spirit of Dahlia, currently inhabiting the body of a spirit medium. Oh, what an exciting story. Exciting, but quite impossible. You're asking us to buy that Dahlia Hawthorne just happened to be channeled by someone. Is this Maya? That's why people can't find her. On the very night of the murder, to a temple where her twin sister Iris was. Well, if you're going to put things that way, then yes. Kangaroo court type stuff? Yeah. Orm. Objection. We're supposed to believe a coincidence like that just happened? Naturally, it was no coincidence. The whole thing was part of a plan from the very beginning. It's all written right here in these instructions. Ah! What's that? These instructions were written by your mother, Morgan Fay. And part of the plan called for Dahlia Hawthorne to be channeled. That night, there were 2 irises at Hazakura Temple. 2 of them. Even the timing of the channeling was planned out. Oh, that's right. Pearl, yeah, so someone's channeling Dahlia because Pearl couldn't do it. As soon as you hear the lights out bell, in other words, 10 o'clock p.m. However, Iris was seen before dinner time. That means the Iris that was at dinner was the real Iris. The Iris who gave me this hood in the main hall was also the real Iris. Meaning the Iris sister bikini you saw at the inner temple was someone else dressed as her, namely one Dahlia Hawthorne. Objection. You even know what you're saying, Trite? This whole channeling the spirit of Dahlia Hawthorne business. Yes, it's true you found the plan to talk about it. However, there's one thing that's perfectly clear. The witness currently standing in the witness stand is the real Iris. What? Calm down and remember what you know about the night of the crime. The meeting Sister Bikini, Dahlia Hawthorne that had been channeled, would have been stranded at the inner temple due to the lightning strike. It was later that the body was moved by Pendulum. That's right. Naturally, that would mean that the Iris that received the body was the real Iris. Are you with me so far? Yeah. After being notified of what happened, the police came to Hazakura Temple's main hall. There, they found Iris in a room and arrested her. And ever since then, she's been under police supervision at the detention center. Yes, I suppose. I can't deny any of that. Whew, thank goodness. Looks like he's finally convinced. Oh, but didn't she escape? Like, quote-unquote escape, and then, was found in the inner temple? So there's when Edgeworth lost her because of the earthquake, she like ditched him, and so she was unaccounted for during that moment. It looks like he's finally convinced, but something still seems off, way off. I'm still not convinced that Iris here is the same one from the other night. Ha! I suppose you're about to say something really ridiculous. Like the real Iris and the spirit of Dahlia somehow switch places. Switch places. To be perfectly honest, there are still quite a few things I don't understand, but I do know that unless we confirm the witness's identity, we can't continue with this trial. Iris doesn't have the spiritual power needed to channel Dahlia, which means they must have switched places somewhere. Well, Mr. Wright, since the time she has arrested at Hazakura Temple, have there been any chances? Yes. Yeah, it's with Edgeworth during the earthquake. Your Honor, I think there might have been one chance. Oh, explain yourself. Yesterday for a few minutes, Iris' whereabouts were unknown. Unknown? What do you mean? What I mean is, there was a span of time in which Iris was able to move about freely, unsupervised. Well, who was it? Who would give a murder suspect time to move about freely like that? I'm sorry. I know you didn't mean to. It wasn't your fault. The person who gave Iris the chance to freely move about was... It's Edgeworth. Okay, okay. Boom. This is Mr. Edgeworth, isn't it? Your Honor, there was a fairly large earthquake yesterday, was there not? An earthquake? Yeah, edgy boy, R.I.P. Earthquake! Oh my goodness! The inner temple! This kind of tremor might... Orm. How could I have... She fled. She escaped. We went to the inner temple right away. And it's true. Iris was already there. However, they had already switched places by that point in time. When I arrived at the training hall, I was met by none other than Dahlia Hawthorne. That's quite enough already, Mr. Wright. Now, see here. No judge in his right mind. Be quiet. Oh my god, she just flipped on him. It's been a long time, Mr. Judge. That voice. Guess I'll have to ask again. Upon meeting a beautiful lady, always ask for her name and profession. That's one of my rules. Dahlia Hawthorne, and my current profession? Permanently retired. Ha! So you're not going to bother hiding your identity anymore, huh? Why should I, after all? I'm dead. There's really nothing you can do to punish me. Oh, hell nah! What is going on here? Dahlia Hawthorne. I never thought we'd meet again, and I never thought we'd meet like this. But this time I'll end it for her and for myself. Da, 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 da. Okay, we're making good progress. This was like only an hour. Because I spent like 30 minutes like just yapping. Okay, that was... Okay, I think we're just gonna ask her what the afterlife is like. True. Now then, let's continue. Where we left off, shall we? Well, witness? Yes? How can I help you, Mr. Judge? Well, seems that if we're to learn the truth, we'll need to hear your testimony. I have no problem with that. But when you've seen what I have, sometimes the truth is better left unknown. In any case, let's hear your testimony. Tell us about the plan that was carried out that night. The whole plan began with my death. Oh, thank you. A stupid plan hatched by Morgan Fay to install her own daughter as the next master. But for it to work, Maya Fey would first have to die. The idea was for me to kill Maya and then have the blame pinned on Iris. The plan went wrong, but it seems to have succeeded anyway. So that means you really are... Wait a minute. Did you say the plan was to kill Maya Fey? Yes. You have a problem with that? Don't give us that nonsense. There's no way. Why yourself track? We have a problem, solve it during cross-examination. That's one of my rules. Mr. Godot is correct. By the way, that's one of my rules as well. To kill Maya? Could it be true? The whole plan began with my death. Stupid plan. Maya first would have to die. Idea was for me to kill Maya, then have the blame pinned on Iris. You were gonna kill Maya? Pearl didn't need to know anything about it. All she had to do was follow instructions in the letter and channel me. Then I would have simply used her body and finished the job. In any case, I'm already dead, and there's nothing any of you can do to me. Grr. So the plan was to blame the crime on your younger twin, on Sister Iris Hazakura Temple. She and I look absolutely identical. No one can tell us apart. If someone were to witness me killing Maya, naturally they would think it was Iris that had done it. And the witness in this case was the head nun, Sister Bikini. I never would have guessed she was going to return to Hazakura Temple that night. Da, da, da. But she wound up seeing Iris's crime. Anyway, why did you want to pin the murder on Iris in the first place? She's your twin sister, ain't she? Twin sister? Don't make me laugh. She's nothing but a backstabber. I couldn't care less about her. Okay. Literally... backstabber. You just don't understand. You never will. Anyway. Maya would have to die, but why? Our bloodline is to succeed as the main family, thus making Pearl the new master. The remaining descendants of the current master had to be taken care of. But Pearls would never agree to a plan like that. She adores Maya. How sad. You still don't get it, don't you? What Pearl wanted had nothing to do with it. Morgan didn't care one bit about Pearl. The only thing she cared about was the position of the master. That's all. That's ridiculous. She was willing to sacrifice anything and anyone to achieve her goal. The life of her daughter and naturally the life of Maya Fey as well. That sounds like something she would do. How could anyone do that? Alright. You think the plan was a success? You heard me. Just as that woman had hoped. Maya Fey is dead. Yeah, right. Who is channeling her, bro? Oop. Now the title of the master will pass on to Pearl Fey. That's absurd. Maya's she's just trapped inside the sacred cavern. Oh, you know what I think is gonna happen? We're gonna find out Iris is in the sacred cavern, which only leaves one option. And Dahlia is gonna, oh my god, this is so good. Because Dahlia is so sure about her plan. You know, succeeding or whatever. Or like her revenge being enacted. This is like supreme irony. Oh my god. You're as foolishly optimistic as ever, aren't you, my darling Feeny? Do you want to know the truth? Ever since we met, I've despised you. Okay, I mean, is that surprising, bro? This bitch never, your sniveling naivete and your pathetic faith in other people. I can't believe it. She meant to kill Maya. I've got to keep a cool head. I need to get more information out of her. It's the only way to understand this plan and what she was after as well. Okay, I guess we press everything. You were executed last month, correct? Yeah, I was hanged. It wasn't exactly pleasant. How did you manage to discuss the plan? She hating on his... because it's different. On his cut. Oh, yeah. When did you talk with Morgan Fey? Last year, she was transferred to the same detention center as me, since I was on death row and she was my mother. It was actually pretty easy to meet with her. Actually, that's when you discussed the plan? Ha! Are you crazy? At first, that woman was planning to kill me as well, even though I'm her own daughter. All to make Pearl Fey the master of Karain? She's a cold, twisted woman. She thought you could finally regain her lost honor. The honor she lost when her younger sister, Misty, took her place as the master. Ever since that day, she's been working on this plan. The plan, huh? You're talking about Pearl Faye, is that correct? Yes, so at first she had high hopes for the two of us. You and your twin sister, Iris? That's correct. Fortunately, neither of us had much spiritual power. That's why we were abandoned by her, along with our father. Abandoned? The only person I ever really cared about in my life was myself. My sister was a nuisance, so I convinced my father to leave her at an old temple. You and Iris? Yes, my father remarried a woman and also had a daughter. The less children you have, the more money there is to go around, right? And on top of that, my father had absolutely no interest in children in general. Bruh. How horrible. Yeah, this family is fucked. The really horrible one was that woman, that bitter, vengeful woman. It's her stubbornness that gave birth to that child, Pearl Faye. She was born with an abundance of spiritual power. Unfortunately for her, Morgan Faye heaped all her broken hopes and dreams onto that child. All because of her pathetic dreams of having her bloodline become the main family. I just want to know one thing. What did you personally think of Morgan Faye's plan? I told you already, didn't I? It was a stupid plan. It had no point, no value other than fulfilling our own greedy desires. Yes. It was certainly nothing to be proud of. That's how you feel? Why did you help her carry it out? Why would you do it? Why would you kill Maya? You may not understand being the kind and gentle soldier. I mean, not be able to appreciate why someone like me would help a woman like that. So then tell me why. Isn't it obvious? I'm not like that woman. I only act in my own self-interest. The reason I helped her was for myself. Okay, chill. For my own personal satisfaction. What did you say? For this woman, Dahlia Hawthorne, she had her own reason for wanting Maya dead? Do you understand why? Oh, it's a new statement. You understand why I would kill Maya Faye now? What my goal was? No. Obviously, it's because you were helping Morgan Faye. Helping. Don't make me wrong. The day I was born to the day I died. I never helped anyone. I lived for myself, and in the end, I died for myself. I thought that was obvious. So she wasn't actually cooperating with Morgan. She was using Morgan and her plan so she could accomplish her own goal. All I wanted to do was kill Maya Faye. That was the only way I could think of to get revenge. Is it because of Mia? Revenge. It looks like I have no choice but to present that piece of evidence. Can't believe it. She meant to kill Maya. Ta-da. Da-da-da. Da-da-da. Is it Mia? That makes sense. Like, she would want revenge on Mia. Objection! Nice. Could it be that your actual goal had nothing to do with Maya Faye herself? I said, none of you have the power to punish me anymore, because I'm already dead. Well, I had the same problem, you see. You can't punish the dead, and you can't take a revenge against them either. You want to take revenge on someone? I sent it to die because of that woman. Damn. Mia Faye. I somehow knew this was it. I wanted to send her a message. It was her hands I suffered my first humiliation. I wanted her to feel the same pain she made me feel. Sadly, when I realized revenge was impossible, I gave up. The reason it was impossible was it perhaps because Mia Faye had already died? Yes, and I realized there's only one way to take revenge against the dead. How do you do that? Back when the body died, the spirit, the ego, it lives on forever. I want to take away the one person that Mia Faye loved the most. I want to kill her with my own hands. That would be the only way I could take my revenge against Mia Faye. That was the reason I helped out with that woman's plans. As for that you would kill Maya? Your goal was no different than that of Morgan Faye. As they say, the apple doesn't fall from the tree. What a cruel plan. Cruel, cold, and heartless. Don't waste your time preaching to the dead. I've already told you, there's not a thing you can do to me. Grr. That night, At about 9:30 p.m., I materialized into this world. I quickly pinned my hair up, put on a demon warding hood. Picked up stuff that was by my side and left Hazakura Temple. So the least Onim who channeled her after all. Oh. Ridiculous had none, never noticed a thing. She left Maya Fey at the inner temple and wobbled back, clutching her poor old back. Sag. What did you do then? That kid was easier to handle than I had hoped. Caught up with her in front of the stone lantern. But, okay, that actually doesn't make sense. Because, that doesn't make sense because, at least Nim was the one that died. So then you're saying you stabbed Maya? It's strange, but I don't have a clear memory of what happened after that. What does that mean? No clear memory? I don't know. I think I was stabbed. You were stabbed? At the last minute, Maya must have stabbed. I'm sure of it. Objection! That's not like her at all. Maya wouldn't stab a French fry with a plastic fork. Anyway, I suddenly lost consciousness. Before I did, I scrawled her name on the lantern. Just as I was passing out, I wrote Maya behind my back. I had hoped it would cast suspicion on her. I can't believe she was thinking of that until the bitter end. That's where my memory temporarily stops. It stops? I don't have any memory of actually killing Maya Fey with my own two hands. My very last memory was Maya's terror-filled eyes. When I woke up after that, I was in the sacred cavern surrounded by darkness. You were in the sacred cavern. The entrance was sealed with one of those trick locks. Somehow I had been trapped in there. But how did you wind up in there? I'd like to know that myself. Anyway, I was worried. I didn't know whether or not Maya Fey was dead, and I swore I wouldn't return to the underworld until I knew I had killed her myself. For a moment, for a ghost, you're one tough cookie. I wanted to get out of there and make sure she was dead. But I couldn't do it. I couldn't get out. Trick lock stopped you, huh? I didn't know how to remove it. So then you're saying you're actually confined against your will inside the sacred cavern. Yes, I wanted to get rid of that annoying lock as soon as possible. But it wasn't easy. I kept getting interrupted while I was working on it. Interrupted? It was early in the morning, but someone came into the training hall. What? Who? Could it have been Maya? I thought the same thing, but I couldn't see. Why not? If someone had spotted me, I would have lost my chance to take revenge. So I made sure to hide myself well at the back of the sacred cavern. That morning, only 2 people could have gone into the training hall. Maya and Pearls. Pearls went there to cover the hanging scroll in gravy. Still, I finally managed to remove the lock, but I was too late. What do you mean by that? The flies had already started again. The bridge had been fixed and the police had started their investigation, correct? Naturally, I couldn't go out. Instead, I returned to the cavern and put the lock back on myself. I realized I couldn't get a chance to see Maya's corpse as I had hoped. But just then, Lady Luck showed up. Lady Luck? After that big earthquake, she showed up all by herself. The real Iris, she said she'd come to make sure the sacred cavern was alright. Stupid girl. I came out from the sacred cavern and got a feel for the situation. And I locked her away in my place. I had finally learned exactly what happened. It was then that I learned that the plan had actually succeeded. What do you mean your plan had succeeded? I had misunderstood one thing. That night, the one that had summoned me, I assumed it was Pearl Buffet. Well, of course you would have assumed that. It was written in instructions. But I was wrong. The person that actually called my spirit back was Missy Faye, the picture book author. What? Well, that's really the only possibility is after I lost consciousness in the garden. It was her body that was left lying. Maya Fey, I wasn't able to kill her with my own 2 hands after all. But even so, I made her commit the most vile sin a human can commit. And that is matricide. The sin of killing her own mother. No way! Order in the court? What is the meaning of this? It's true that I was the one who attacked Maya Fey. But even so, the murderer who actually stuffed out Misty Fey's life was none other than your darling little Maya. It still doesn't make sense, but... Good morning, little bug. Good morning, Dawn. Ridiculous. That's nonsense. Are you sure about that? I just think about it. There's even evidence supporting these facts, isn't there? Well, what do you mean? Gonna do my morning run? Good luck. Have fun with your run. What is this so-called evidence? The fact that Maya Fey has disappeared is evidence enough, isn't it? Huh. The idea that she's still in the sacred cavern is just ridiculous. She wasn't able to escape from the inner temple. That much is obvious. In that case, there's only one place she could be. Where? Do I have to spell it out? The bottom of the Eagle River. Where else? Eagle River. Maya Fey killed her long-lost mother. Can you imagine the guilt she must have felt when she realized? Okay, this is a lot of, like... She has to be so sure of herself to actually, like, believe this. She's, like... She's never confirmed any of this. And she's like, hey, I won. I'm the GOAT. This is so funny. That even makes it more implausible. That all of this just worked out the way it did in her head. That's why she threw herself in the Eagle River. Okay. This is just a rationalization. Like, there's nothing corroborating that. Most bodies that wind up in there are lost forever. What do you have to say now, Beanie? Ooh, Oh, the Godot theme. Chicken edit. Oops, sorry, that's my phone. What kind of ringtone is that? Godot here. Okay, thanks. Birds arrive. Yeah, birds arrive. Was something important? They just finished removing locks from the sacred cavern. That's great. What about Maya? There was a woman in the cave. Was it Maya Fey? It was accused, Sister Iris. Huh? Don't look so surprised. I locked her in there yesterday. I just finished telling you that. So, what about Maya? Where is she? There was no one else found inside the sacred cavern. No, it can't be. I told you, didn't I? She's dead. No. No! It seems that this case has come to an end. A tragic end. Okay. It turns out the whoever was behind the door wasn't the Hail Mary I expected it to be. Sadly appears the killer of Elise, still Nim, also known as Misty Fey, was her own daughter, Maya Fey. Overcome with guilt for what she had done, Maya Fey jumped to her death. Why are people believing this? They jumped to her death in the raging waters of the Eagle River. I mean, I could tell. Okay, Phoenix, I can understand because he's like so, he's like stressing out over the whole thing. But it's just like, okay, I mean, he's just repeating what the story that was just told. But it's just like, ha. Try. Have you ever heard this one? Once you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth. Oh yeah, isn't that a Sherlock Holmes quote? No matter how improbable it may seem. What is that supposed to mean, prosecuted Godot? According to this witness, Maya Fey threw herself into the Eagle River. However, is that really the truth? Remember, this woman testified earlier that the bridge was already on fire when the murder was taking place in the garden. Which means if Maya had thrown herself into the river, it must have been from the inner temple side. Oh, I know. Yeah. The little feature on the bottom. In this universe, they call him Sherlock Holmes. That's so good. That's right. That's where she jumped from. Oh my god. But that's impossible. It's impossible to jump into the river from there. What? Don't get your panties all twisted up, Trite. Just relax and think through the whole thing again. Yeah, the geographical feature from case 4. So it's impossible? Maya couldn't have thrown herself in the Eagle River? Well, Miss Wright, Miss Hawthorne claims Miss Faye threw herself into the river from the inner temple side. You have any events that refuse this claim? Where's the bridge? Yeah. This literally, like, there's no river here. You go wee. You have to, like, I don't know, do the little Baki jump. Do a little Baki jump from, like, what is this, like 30 feet? Oh hell nah. It's impossible to jump into the Eagle River from the inner temple side. No one knows that better than this witness. What did you say? 11 years ago, you jumped into this very same river. Just take a look at this overhead map. As you can see, below the cliff on the inner temple side is a big rock shelf. Oh! You're right! She wouldn't have reached the river if she had jumped off from it. In other words, if she had jumped, we would be able to see her body in this photo. Ah! Ha! So you finally figured it out. No! Order? You're just playing with me. Maya Fey's body is at the bottom of the Eagle River. There's nowhere else she could possibly be hiding. Miss Hawthorne, have you ever heard this one before? Uh-oh. Once you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth. Yes, just a few minutes ago. Maya Fey wasn't inside the sacred cavern. We now know that she didn't throw herself into the Eagle River. Correct. That eliminates all the most likely possibilities. Now, although it seems improbable, there's still one other place she could be. What? What is this one possibility you're talking about? That's obviously a bluff. So where is her dead body then? Finally, I think the pieces are falling into place. Normally, the living have no way to punish the dead. But I think there's a way to give Dahlia Hawthorne the ultimate punishment. Shall I tell you, Miss Hawthorne? Shall I tell you where Maya Fey is in this very instance? The courtroom. There's only one possibility left. Namely, he's right here in this very courtroom. What? Maya Fey is here? You say she's here in my courtroom? Dahlia Hawthorne, I seem to recall that you said I had misunderstood one thing, you see. So what? But I think there's one more thing you misunderstood. What do you mean? Tell me something. At this very moment, who is channeling Dahlia Hawthorne? Well, why that? That's obvious. It's Pearl Fey, that pathetic little sniveling rat. You're wrong. Pearl's tried, but she couldn't do it. I've never failed at channeling someone. This is the first time it's happened. Isn't there any explanation for why you couldn't channel a spirit? It could happen if someone else was already channeling the same spirit. Someone called me before Pearl did? But who? Pearl's even tried again on the day after the crime, but she couldn't do it. What could that mean? I think the truth has become clearer to you right about now. Am I correct? Ah! It wasn't Pearl that channeled you. There was someone who called you before she could. It's Maya. Damn, Giga cooked. This is an easy one. Pearls couldn't do it, and Misty Fey is gone. There's only one possibility left. Come on already. I can't stand the tension. Dahlia Hawthorne, the person channeling you right now must be Maya Fey. What? Da, 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 da. But how could that be? Remember what this witness, Dahlia Hawthorne, said about her goal. She said that her goal was to kill Maya Fey. Yes, that's right. But if Maya channeled the spirit of someone that was trying to kill her... Ha! Well, Gramps, what would happen? Could it be? It looks like you finally understand, Your Honor. Well, I don't. What are you going on about? What I'm going about is the reason why I challenged you, and there's only one reason. To protect herself from you. To protect herself from me? Yes, on the night of the crime, you're only interested in one thing. Killing Maya Fey. The path back to Hazakura was closed off, and there was nowhere for her to run. So then the problem became, where would be the safest place to hide? You mean that's when she channeled me from? All this time you thought you had been channeled by Pearls. That's why it never occurred to you. That Maya's hiding place was you. No, don't say that. You're saying that I, Dahlia Hawthorne, was played for a fool, that by that little whelp, Maya Fey killed herself? Isn't it obvious? Objection! Sorry, but no, it would have been impossible for her to jump into the Eagle River. This was the only avenue of escape open to Maya. The only way that Maya could disappear from the inner temple. I don't believe you. A stupid little girl like that has never been out in the real world. She could never come up with a plan like that. What? Maya's pretty clever, alright? Who would have ever given her such a brilliant idea? she's giga coping. Well, me, of course. Mia Fey? It's been a long time, Dahlia Hawthorne. So it's true. It was you. Yes. Ha! You're something else. But what are you doing here? That hair. It's Pearls, right? Tell me something, Dahlia. I want you to think back to that night one more time. You had just cornered Maya in the inner temple's garden, and then, in the final moments of the fight, you lost consciousness. I was stabbed by Maya Fey. Actually, Maya lost consciousness at the same time as you. She did? Not terribly surprising, she was about to be killed. When she woke up, she was in the training hall. That's when Maya decided she needed help, so she channeled me. She explained in a memo the situation she was in. She asked me what I thought she should do. She did that? I can't believe it. Of course, I didn't have all the details, but one thing was perfectly clear, and that was, I knew that you couldn't be allowed to wander free. Free? What do you mean? It was a race against time, so I wrote down 2 things that Maya had to do. Channel Dahlia Hawthorne as soon as possible, and lock herself in the sacred cavern until help arrived. So it was Maya who put that lock on there. Yes, but why did you order her to do those 2 things? If she hadn't done it, Dahlia Hawthorne would have been channeled by someone else. By one Pearl Fey. But Pearls? Yes, Pearl didn't properly understand the plan, so all she was trying to do was follow her mother, Morgan Fey's instructions. If she had succeeded in channeling Dahlia Hawthorne's spirit, things would have turned out very badly, to put it mildly. So that's how it was. Dahlia Hawthorne would have used the body of Pearl Fey to kill Maya at all costs. Yes, it certainly sounds like that was intent all along. How dare you? I won't forget this. Why not just admit it, Dahlia Hawthorne? Your little plan was nothing but a big failure. Yes, another failure to add to the pile of shame, what do you say? What do you mean by another? Think about it, Dahlia. Remember all your past crimes? Not a single one of them was a success. They all ended in failure. Well, what? How dare you? 11 years ago. The fake kidnapping, your very first crime. You got your hands on a $2 million diamond, but... After Terry Falls escaped and went to meet Dahlia Hawthorne, the truth was exposed. Shut your mouth. That wasn't my fault. It was because of that stupid oaf of a prisoner and that weakling of a policewoman. And then 1 year later, you tried to kill me. Well, I'm still alive, but... You wound up killing someone else. As a result, you were sentenced to death. It's one stupid move after another for you, but it's no longer. I think we still haven't cleared up what happened at the garden, though. It's a little bit more. There's like we pretty much foiled. Hello, how's it going? One stupid move after another for you. It's no longer funny. You wipe that smug, happy-go-lucky smile off your face. And now this. You've messed up again. You let Maya Fey escape. Even though she was right there in front of you. Mia Fey. You spinster. I was supposed to kill Maya Fey like I swore I would. And if only you hadn't gotten this spiky-haired jerk the guilty verdict, I wouldn't have been hanged to death. True. But I think you finally understand. Dahlia Hawthorne. You will never defeat me. What? What did you say? Whether you're alive, dead, or somewhere in between, you'll never defeat me. As long as I'm around, you're destined to lose for all of eternity. Do you have any plan to play Miles Edgeworth one? Maybe. I have the Apollo Justice stuff in my backlog, so I might try that before. But I do like. I heard those were pretty good. Grr. I remember what you said earlier in the trial. You said there was no way we could punish you, but because you were already dead. What about it? Then you said, even when the body dies, the spirit, the ego, it lives on forever. But that's very true, Dahlia. And that's exactly the punishment you will never be able to escape from. For all of eternity, you'll have to remain as Dahlia Hawthorne, a miserable, pathetic, weak creature who can never win at anything. For you, there's no escape from that, no hope of freedom. Since the day you were executed, the narrow bridge that once stretched out in front of you has been burnt to crisp. You're wrong. It can't be. How could I lose to the likes of you? It no longer matters. I don't care whether you win or lose anymore. The only thing I want is for you to come out of Maya's body right now. I'm not ready to call an exorcism yet, to go. Nick, sis, Orm. Now then, I assume you are the real Iris? Yes, I was just rescued from the Sacred Cavern. I must say, you and your twin sister are indeed identical, from what I can see. In any case, it appears that everything has finally been cleared up. Mr. Godot, what happened to Dahlia Hawthorne? If you ask me, Your Honor, it looks like she went back to the hell she came from. It seems that Missy Fey wasn't the only victim of this crime. Maya Fey, as well as the young Pearl Fey, were also victims of this wicked and selfish plan. Yes, Your Honor. The tragedy of Medium Valley has finally come to an end, it seems. It would be best for everyone if no further attempt was made to channel that spirit again. I like how they just accept that, the spirit channeling. I mean, I'm like not complaining or anything because it's been a constant throughout the whole series. I think it got established in the first game anyway. But yeah. Your Honor? Yes, what is it? About this whole spirit media thing. It's always weird how comfortable. Oh, okay, what the hell? In-universe truth, yeah. Always weird how comfortable you seem to be with the concept now. Well, to be frank, my younger brother is quite judgmental. Often criticizes me for not studying hard enough. That's why I made a concerted effort to study up on the Kurain channeling technique. Hey, isn't that the New Year's issue of Oh Cult? I've seen quite a few things in my many years on the bench. That's true. And all that time I finally learned this one thing. Each case is different, takes place in its own world, if you will. In order to fully understand that world, first we have to immerse ourselves in it completely. And that's where my brother and I used to differ. Never thought of it that way. At any rate, it's time to pass judgment in the case of Iris of Hazakura Temple. Objection! Dang, he actually, like, the judge actually said something so profound to Phoenix for once. You're a little too fast with that gavel, Your Honor. What do you mean by that, Mr. Goodell? Just trial. It isn't over yet. That's what I mean. What? Try. Remember what Miss Evil Spirit said in her testimony? Huh? Dahlia's testimony. So, all the final cases from trilogy, which you see doing the most? I think it's this one for sure. I mean, it's the one that left the most impact on me from all these years. Are we counting Rise from the Ashes or the Von Karma one for number 1? Oh, it's not over yet? No, I mean, I think this already is, like, really good. Like, one of the... It's strange, but I don't have to clear... Well, I guess we're not done yet. We still have to clear what happened in the garden. And I assume Maya's still accused. I don't have to clear remember what happened after that. I think I was stabbed. Yeah, for number 1, are we counting Rise from the Ashes of Gant as the final case for number 1, or the Von Karma one? Yes, that's right. Person that was ultimately killed was the spirit medium that channeled Dahlia. Yeah, Gant counts? Okay. I did like the double teaming on Gant with that's such good wish fulfillment. When Edgeworth and Phoenix like just double team Gant. It's so good. I wasn't too crazy about number 2's final case, actually. It was alright. I mean, it was very grand. The scale was... But I guess the Shelly the Killer... I think the cool thing about that case is you're defending a guy who's actually just evil, you know? Like, you're being challenged. Or Phoenix is being challenged on his trust, you know, with his client, right? It's the Ice Cream Bird? What Ice Cream Bird? This is not your first time playing Ace Attorney? Nope. I've only played the original trilogy and not the original trilogy, like, and Dual Destinies. Shelly the Killer? Oh yeah, Shelly the Killer. Yeah. He has the ice cream. Yeah, the ice cream. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, the ice cream bird. At least don't him. No, Misty Faye. But who killed her? I think Bat on Guard is a pretty good foil. Like the twist with him is pretty good, but I don't know if like the actual case was super interesting to me. Like the plot, it was kind of like this guy was exiting out of the room, and actually it couldn't have been this person. It was actually this person dressed up as this guy, and it was just like, you know what, I don't know, like actually the wine on the table is a very good piece of evidence. I don't know. I don't think like the actual like case itself was that interesting. Miles Edwards, the fourth one, you never played? Nope. Yeah. I've never even played Apollo Justice, bro. When I played Dual Destiny, I'm like, who the fuck is this Apollo Justice guy? Because I think in the fourth one, Apollo Justice is established as a character. So I was playing it as Athena Sykes, which is fine because I don't, you know, I'm being like, but I think Apollo Justice was like, who the fuck is this guy? I have to like they're referencing the fourth game. I'm just like, So I just never got a chance to play the 4th and 6th and all that. This isn't over. Unless someone else is found guilty, the accused is still on trial. We can't let her walk until there's evidence that proves her innocence. Bro's hating on the goat. Okay. I'm not trying to say Apollo Justice is lame or anything. I just like having trouble accepting, you know, this random character that like appeared out of nowhere. I don't know how to describe it. I don't know. Okay. One of my first Kingdom Hearts games is 358 over 2 days. One of the plot points You just have to accept in that game is your Roxas, okay? Roxas, who cares? Okay, you're Roxas. Sora is in the background. He's mentioned. Everyone's glazing him in the background. Okay, so that's one thing. You're part of Organization 13. During Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, a good portion of Organization 13 is just wiped out because Sora beats the shit out of them. I think it's like Larxene. I forgot. I know Larxene is one of them. There's like also some like Earth guy or whatever. I thought Never's Goat was the the clown from the Disciples case. Oh yeah, that clown wasn't too bad. Yeah. But in 358 over 2 days, you like get meant like in the tutorial, all the people that die in 358 in Chain of Memories, like you like get tutorials from them. And then in like after one mission, they just die and they never revisit that. And you're just like, "Oh, okay, I guess Organization 13 is not it's like Organization 7 or something. Like a bunch of people just die." And also I just like it's kind of like that. It was like the most. It's like bizarre, a weird, bizarre experience, but I kind of just accepted it. You know, it's just like, we can't let her walk until there's evidence that proves her innocence. No way. But this court isn't prepared for any further testimony. The prosecution is ready to call our final witness. Final witness. This one will clear up the whole mystery. The mystery of who killed Misty Faye. Indeed. Is it really alright, Mr. Prosecutor? Of course it's alright, Madam Attorney. Very well done. Who is this final witness? Ha! Isn't it obvious? There is one person who saw the whole event and will put the final dagger in this case. Somebody saw the moment took place? The very person who saw her mother killed in front of her own eyes. You mean Maya? You can't. She can't testify after what she's just been through. We need to find the truth. The prosecution calls Maya Faye to the witness stand. Very well, but first we'll take a brief recess. We'll have to wait for Miss Faye to recover before something here. Once we receive the doctor's permission, we will proceed with the trial. Hey, Trite, I've got something to say to you, so listen up. What is it? I don't think much of you as a lawyer. It's always the same with you. You somehow manage to just squeak by without even a faint understanding of the case. Some beautiful woman always seems to come dashing in at the last minute to save you. You've got some nerve, but that's not going to happen this time. This time, you're going to do this by yourself. That's enough. This court is now in recess. I'm truly sorry about everything. You were working so hard to defend me, but I was missing all day and we didn't have a chance to talk. She's right. When I met Iris at the training hall, they had already switched places and Iris was inside the sacred cavern. I want to at least be in the defendant's box today to root you on. Well, it wasn't your fault. You were locked up this whole time. There's something more important than that, though. I have to ask you. Why did you help your sister out as much as you did? Huh? Will Edgy Boy be the beautiful woman that comes and save him? Yeah. You tried to get help at the Sacred Cavern yesterday. You wouldn't have spent an entire day I locked up in there. My sister, I felt sorry for her. She was abandoned by her mother and never got any love from our father either. Yes, but it was the same for you too, wasn't it? Yes, but at least I had Sister Bikini, who was like a mother to me. If only Dahlia had come with me to Hazakura Temple. I always loved her. Dahlia was always so smart, so strong. She never complained about a thing. That's why I promised her that I would help her. Are you talking about the fake kidnapping case 11 years ago? Yes. I wanted to be useful to her in some way. But as usual, I was too cowardly. At the last minute, I ran away. Because of that, Dahlia's stepsister Valerie ended up. That was the case that wounded Mia so badly. But things didn't end there, of course. Some people suspected that my sister was involved in the murder. Some people, you must mean, yes, two defense attorneys. Mia Faye and Diego Armando. After poisoning Mr. Armando, who was getting too close to learning the truth, Dahlia even tried to kill the person who had unknowingly hid the poison for her. You. That's right. Iris, there's one more thing that I have to ask you. Yes, what is it? On the night of the murder, the person that cleaned up the corpse of the victim, Elise Donia, was it really you? Yes, it was me. That night, after I rang the lights out bell, I went back to my room. At around 10:30, I received a call on my cell phone. Beep. There's a problem. Come to the inner temple right away. I got on the snowmobile and headed for the inner temple. Ah! The path to the inner temple was cut off, right? Exactly. Yippee! Beep. We can't just leave the body here. So you gotta do this exactly as they say, got it? They got reception here? That's crazy. It was me. I received the one that received her body. The murder weapon had been left in her body so she wouldn't bleed too much. The staff that Mystic Elise always held. I knew it. So the actual murder weapon was a staff. Yes, that's right. I brought the body back to Hazakura Temple on the snowmobile. But why? Why did you alter the body? I didn't want anyone to know that the staff was the murder weapon. I didn't want to leave anything that would lead back to Misty Faye. So I dressed her in a robe and stabbed her with a shishishito. I wiped the blood off the staff's blade and left it next to her on the ground. Iris, just tell me one last thing. Tell me the name of the person that called your cell phone, the real killer. I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. Can't do it. I can't say who did it. I see. Victim staff updating court record. Defendant. Yes, the judge is calling you. He wants you to see you in his chambers. He has some questions about Dahlia Hawthorne. All right. Well then, I'll see you later. Here's something I want to tell you. Oh, okay. Something she wants to tell me. So it's true. Iris cooperated with the real killer. Maybe even from the very beginning. Phoenix? Mia. How is Maya doing? Physically, I'm not worried. She'll recover completely. But emotionally, she's been hurt very badly by this case. I see. You don't mean she's learned who Elise Donim really was? Bruh. That's pretty fucked up, I'm not gonna lie. Yes, I went to the medical office and talked with her. Told her everything I knew. But why? Maya is stronger than you think. I knew she could take it. All of it. What do you mean by that? I want you to figure that answer out by yourself. The trial is about to restart. The real killer. Do you know who it is? Iris wouldn't tell me who called her, but still. I think that just maybe I know who it was. That night, the victim was killed in the garden of the inner temple. And the criminal wasn't just there by accident. Which means that the killer knew of Dahlia's plan from the very beginning. And one more thing, the victim was moved to the Hazakura temple side by the pellet. In other words, the criminal couldn't cross the bridge. Cupsy was the criminal? Who knew he could, like, that vacant stare encapsulated so many, dastardly plots, bro. Who would have guessed? That means they were stuck in the temple for at least the entire day. Exactly. So the culprit was someone that wasn't Hazakura Temple the following day. That's as much as help as I can give you. The rest of the battle is yours to win or lose. All right. Okay, his depravity knows no bounds. I know. Okay, I've got it. Thank you, Maya. Finally, it's almost time to bring this case to... What exactly did Maya see anyway? And who was it that actually killed Misty Faye? Where was I have to prove it? Me, all by myself. Okay, I was thinking this was going to be... Okay, it's been an hour and a half, basically. This might be another 2 hours, actually. But we'll see. Okay, the final part. Okay. Ooh, I'm excited. Now then, before we proceed any further, I'm going to announce the results of the test we had performed earlier. Results for test? Yes, test. On the blade dagger that was found stuck in pine tree. Oh yeah, that. I totally forgot about it. That's a weapon that Maya Faye used when she fought with the victim. So what are the results? Was it the victim's blood, or due to the time constraints, a full test was impossible? There's one thing we can say with certainty. The blood that was on the dagger was not the victim's blood. Whoa. That is all. Okay, alright, that's kind of reassuring. A little vague, though. Not very conclusive. That is all. Now then, let's restart this trial. So it wasn't Misty's blood on the dagger. Then whose was it? I'm sure both the defense and the prosecution know this, but this trial is rapidly coming to a close. Both sides will need to show some firm evidence with their claims. I understand, Your Honor. From what I've heard, the witness is dangerously weak, physically speaking, so let's finish this quickly. Agreed. Very well. Bring in the last witness. Witness, please tell us your name and profession. My FA. My profession is I'm an assistant manager at Wright & Co. Law Offices. Maya. According to the magazine I have here, you're a spirit medium of the Kurain channeling technique. I'm frightened. You know what I just realized? Pearl was the one who arranged all this, right? As in like the reservations. That's kind of chilling in a way. Not that Pearl like knew what she was gonna do because she was under the impression they were on a vacation or something like that. But it's kind of crazy. Like, all right, it wasn't a coincidence, basically, that they ended up in the you know, the exact spot where they needed to perform this whole like elaborate murder. The Fae clan, I don't want any more to do with it. Oh my, the pain the Fae bloodline causes must be unbearable. Very well. Now then, Miss Fae, when an event occurred, you were in the garden of the inner temple, and you witnessed the moment of Miss Elise Donim's murder. Is correct? I didn't see it. And straighten up this instant, young lady. Bruh, huh? Pick your head up and speak clearly. There's always time for crying later. But your mother was killed right in front of your eyes. There's nothing you can do to change that fact. But there's something you can do. You can finish this. You've been watching the whole thing, right? You've seen the witnesses come out and you've seen us squeeze the truth out of them. Now it's your turn. Let's hear your testimony. On the night of the crime, what exactly did you see happen? Witness, if you please. Yes, Your Honor. I was passing through the garden on the way to a spare prep room when it happened. Suddenly, someone struck me over the head. I stumbled and ended up against the stone lantern. I screamed, "Help me!" Something warm splashed over me. That's when I lost consciousness. You were struck on the head. I suppose it must have been the stab. Maya, the person who hit you. It was Dahlia Hawthorne, wasn't it? I'm sorry, Nick. I couldn't see you. I don't know who it was. Okay, I mean, as Godot said earlier, it was dark. There was no lighting. I mean, it does get kind of dark out in the wilderness, so I believe it. I don't know who it was. Maya, think hard. Sorry, Nick, but I really couldn't. Ha! Can't say it was an especially good night for young ladies to be walking around alone. Seems that it will be hard to determine the criminal through testimony alone. Very well, Mr. Wright. Please begin your cross-examination. Maya, hang in there. She doesn't look well at all. Okay. I was passing through the garden on the way to a spare prep room when it happened. Suddenly someone struck me over the head. Okay, let's press that. Who did it? Who hit you? Well, I didn't see who it was. I was hit from behind. You didn't see the person? But after that, your attacker was in front of you. How could you not see who it was? Oh, let me think for a sec. I'm sorry, I just can't remember. Maya's really having a hard time. What should I do? I feel so bad. Come on, Maya. This isn't making sense. Why didn't you see this person? Well, let me think. It was, oh yeah, that's right. It was dark. That's it. Okay. It was dark. It's not good to have too much light around when someone is undergoing spiritual training. Come to think of it, there was earlier testimony to that effect as well. So it was dark in the garden on the night of the crime, which is why she didn't see her attacker. I thought maybe she was trying to hide something, but I guess not. Occam's razor, I guess. Judging by the testimony thus far, the entity attacker was most likely the spirit that was channeled by Elise Donim, Dahlia Hawthorne. Very well, please continue with your testimony. Show the badge? Oh my god. What happened after you were struck on the head? Ended up against a stone lantern. What happened afterwards? My attacker was in front of me, blocking off my escape, I think. Show the Radga. Alright. I'll make sure to pull up Radga from the evidence list. You think? After getting hit like that, I was in a state of panic. There were only two things rolling around in my mind at the time. Well, now, this is beginning to get interesting. So what were the two things rolling around in your mind? My name is Maya Fei. 1 + 1 = 2. You see, for some crazy reason, I was afraid I was going to lose my memory. I know it's odd considering my life was in danger, but that's how it was. Yeah. It's not odd at all. Your actions are understandable given the circumstances. So, what did you do then? Okay. Help me. Think you screamed, but you're not sure? Listen, I was a complete wreck. It was dark and I couldn't see my attacker. Was it a man, a woman, an adult, a child? I had no idea. I was scared out of my wits. Believe me, my dear. I'm certain I would have soiled my ribs. No one asked, bro, but yes, yeah. That is scary as fuck. This person might attack me, so I. Anyway, I'm pretty sure I screamed. I thought that it was my last hope. Wow, it sounds like poor little Maya really was out of her mind. I asked? Okay. 1 + 1 = 2 is not as important as counting up to 7. True. 6, 7. I wonder what she meant by last hope. What do I do? Do I press her for more details? I guess. Last hope. Wait a minute. What's this? My last hope, so? What do you mean by your last hope? No. What you said. You said my last hope. What? I said what? Look, you were facing an attacker that you couldn't see and you screamed, right? You screamed, help me. Yeah. But you testified that you screamed that because you thought it was your last hope. Oh, well, you know, that's like, what do you call it when that happens? Maya's not doing so well up there. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's right. I remember now I was facing my attacker, but that's not who I was screaming at. Well, what did you just say? Oh. Yeah, that's right. It was the person behind my attacker that I was yelling at. That's who I was screaming to for help. Ah! What is it now? I messed up. I didn't mean to let that slip out. Huh? But witness, are you absolutely sure of what you're saying? Behind the attacker there was another person? I meant to keep that part a secret. What have I done? Ha, it takes a ton of pressure to make a diamond. That's what I always say. A ton of pressure. You're in a court of law here. You can't make things up or try to hide things in this chamber. Ermi or Orm? Witness, the information you just presented is vital to the case. I want you to add it to your testimony. See a man behind my attacker by the light of the stone lantern. Oh, but there's no light. There's no light. Bruh, this is too easy. It was not lit. Okay. Objection! Ah, come on, bruh. There was a man standing behind your attacker. Yeah. That man, he's the killer. He stabbed her from behind. He's the one who killed Lee Stone him, otherwise known as Misty Fey, your mother. The killer? Maya. You know who killed your mother, don't you? What is the meaning of this, Mr. Wright? Yeah, man. Men. To be frank, Your Honor, I think she's in shock and quite confused. That's why she hasn't noticed a huge problem with her testimony. Huh? What do you mean? What problem? Maya, on the night of the crime, that stone lantern was out of commission. Huh, what? It's true. There were no light anywhere in the garden that night. No! Order in the court. Mr. Godot, explain this. Add the pureness of milk to the perfect clear darkness of coffee. Stir. That is the state of the witness's mind right now. A cup of cafe a la. I actually don't know how to pronounce that. Well, let me do that. Cafe a la. Coffee with milk. All right, how do you pronounce that? Cafe au lait. Cafe au lait. All right. Cod? What cod? That is just okay. Cafe au lait. Cafe au lait? Is that even legal? What is bro saying? Olay, can you see? Oh my god. The Star Spangled Banner. I haven't had the... I don't watch sports events, so it's been a while since I've heard that. Mr. Strike's words. Mr. Strike's words are the milk and you are the spoon, Your Honor. I'm a spoon. I'm no spoony bard, I'll have you know. You must notice it too, try it. This witness's mental state is highly unstable right now. It's not hard to understand why she would make a little mistake like that. Okay, that's not the point. Okay, maybe it's not the... Okay, it's like, what does this even mean? You made us recite in school? I know. But that's been... It's been so long since I've done the Pledge of Allegiance. Do you guys remember that? The Pledge of fucking Allegiance? I don't know if schools still do that, actually. I have no idea. Objection! Cafe Alternative Universe Lay. True, yeah, AU. Sorry, but that's not gonna cut it. What did you say? There truly was no lying garden, and there's a fatal contradiction in the witness' last bit of testimony. Nick? May I recall the witness's statement about her attacker? She said that she didn't know if it was a man or a woman, adult or a child. I hate doing that, dude. It was so annoying. I think genuinely you didn't. Okay, maybe back then you had to do it, but I think genuinely you could just sit down. Like I don't think it like. I don't know why, but I think after 9/11 it might have been like it felt mandatory. I don't know what it was about it, but I feel like no one makes you actually do it anymore. But it was fucking weird. And 9/11, 911, yeah, 9/11, yes. Dude, 9/11 was some serious shit back then. All right, don't get me wrong. We make like the jokes. No, everyone can't help but make jokes, but like having lived through that, like post 9/11, the post lapsarian, post 9/11 era, very very weird. No. I just didn't like living in that. I don't care for the jokes. The jokes are whatever. You know, I think we're so far removed from that shit. But anyway, it's just weird that having lived through that. The witness could describe a person that was standing behind her attacker, and she quite clearly described him as a man. In other words, that would have to mean that Maya actually saw our mystery person, despite it being so dark that she couldn't see the face of her own attacker. No. Order. What in the world does this all mean, Miss Wright? Are you saying Miss Faye saw the real killer under pitch black conditions? Right. Do you have any idea what you're proposing? How could she have seen in the dark? There was no other light source at the scene. Mr. Fresh. There's some things that you can only see in the dark, Mr. Godot. Not very woke of her to assume their gender? Uh-oh. Maya, you did see who the killer was in the dark. Oh! A man? With a visible... potentially visible eyewear? That emits... Now you're trying to cover for him. Could cover? For the man that killed her mother? There's only one conclusion I can draw from this. You know who this man is. Please, Nick. I don't know anything. Please, I'm begging you. Ha! You talk a good game, try it. Let's see if you can walk the walk. It was pitch black. So what could the witness see? I'm calling your bluff. No, Nick, don't. But please stop. Maya is dead set on protecting this guy. The man who murdered Maya's long-lost mother. But I can't let him get away with it. Because he has power over here, this is all part of his wicked scheme. Oh, hell nah. I'm a lawyer and officer of the court. I'm here to find the truth. Alright, Mr. Wright. Time to show us what you've got. Who is the person that you say? Oh my god. I actually have to name it now? That's crazy. Okay, it's Godot. I forgot about this. I didn't even... Dude, I don't even know. I didn't even remember this. I didn't realize... You like, indict him or something. I just assumed his arc just ended here. Because it was pitch black, Miss Faye was able to recognize the killer easily. I'm sure the court would like to see for itself how this is possible, yes? What? But how do you propose to show us something like that? It's easy. We just need to recreate the conditions of that night. Conditions? Yeah. It's the mask. Yeah. Your Honor, the defense officially requests that all the lights in the courtroom be turned off. Well, this is, but it can't be. Ha. That was a nice bit of deduction, right? Well, everyone, this is the man Maya saw on the night of the murder. Order. Prosecutor Godot, what is the meaning of this? Luna Ratga. Surely you must be shocked to hear yourself accused of such a thing. Why aren't you denying it? Ah. Your Honor, you're asking the wrong person. What do you mean by that? You got a question? Ask the witness. That's one of my rules. Well, Mayo, how about it? What about you saw that? What you saw that night? Was it 3 glowing red lights? Well, witness, answer the question. You're wrong. I never saw that. Well, Maya, I thought the person that stabbed my mother was a man for a totally different reason. What? Objection. Stop your chattering, Your Honor. Chattering? If it's worth asking, ask the witness. That's one of my rules. All right. Well, then let's continue with the testimony. Please tell us how you knew the killer was a man. Yes, Your Honor. I didn't realize it until after I woke up, but... When I came to, I was just lying there on the training hall floor. The time I got back to the garden, the place had totally changed. Torches were lit, the body was gone, and all of the snow around the stone lantern had been carefully cleaned up too. Is Luna Radka supposed to be Liner to answer? No, I think it's is it Black Sheep? Or is it I think it's Black Sheep. Luna Light, Black Sheep. No, it's not Black Sheep. It's not Black Sheep. It's not Black Sheep. Okay. Luna Light. S-Light. Perfume Dancer? Really? Oh my god, it is! He has that little crest. Yeah, that is her. And like the eyepiece. Okay, yeah. Yeah, it's Perfume Dancer. Okay. Luna Radga. All the snow around the stone lantern had been carefully cleaned up too. Since the person did all that work alone, I just assumed it was a man. Okay, that's crazy. This game has been some banger. Yes, yeah, no, the BGM is really good. It's so good. And it's just like really simple melodies too, like da 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 da. So it was after the crime took place that the witness came to think the killer was a man. Yes, that's right. I'm sorry, Your Honor. That's not very welcome for this script. It's a plausible deduction. I'm just like blare up the Diddy Disciples BGM. What was Diddy? I fucking, oh my god. Edgar is wrong. That's true. It's gone. We deleted it. No need to apologize. As Mr. Godot said, you're utterly exhausted. Only natural that you would be a little confused. If you consider the situation, it doesn't seem too much of a stretch to assume the culprit was a man. Mr. Wright, proceed with the cross-examination. Torture's related and the body's gone. What's this? SMH? Okay, fine, I'll add that. Yes, that's how I noticed the whole scene had changed. I'm going to say it was the killer who lit the torches. I mean, who else could it be? The killer probably lit them since it'd be possible to do any cover-up work in the dark. Makes sense? Okay, alright. However, if that's true, there's one thing that still bothers me. Why did the killer go to the effort of moving the body? That's true. It's hard to see how that would be of any advantage to the killer. The only one who would gain anything from that could be the only one person that was at the inner temple, Maya. Very well. Let me hear some more about the condition of the crime scene. Okay, I actually don't know why it was cleaned up. I guess the blood. You're saying the killer cleaned up the snow? It did look really odd. This is very, very suspicious. The snow was removed in an unnatural-looking rectangular shape around the lantern. There were a lot of shovels around the inner temple, but they're all really heavy. Way too heavy for me to use. An odd fellow indeed, this killer. Why on earth would he want to take snow away? Well, there's one thing I can think of. Did you say that a lot of the victim's blood sprayed onto the snow? Yeah. The area collapsed and ended up being splattered. In other words, the killer's purpose was to hide the bloody snow. I think that's the most reasonable explanation. Perhaps. However, there's something that's bothering me. The killer just wanted to hide the snow with blood on it. There was no need to remove that amount. That's true. He could have scooped up just the snow that was stained with blood. Maybe it's just like, okay, if you only scoop up the blood, it's just gonna be like, oh, you only, you know, cleaned up this part? Oh shit, I gotta make it look like it's some uniform like pattern, you know? It's just like, why is this patch, you know, like da, da, da. The DD disciples, oh my god. The DD disciples, oh my god. Looks like there are some mysteries behind this issue, but I think this will help explain them. Alright, let's press her on this assumption. So you're saying that you never saw a killer, right? Yes, but earlier you very clearly stated you saw a man behind your attacker. Nick, I'm sorry. Killer certainly went through a lot of trouble. Moving the body by pendulum, manipulating the crime scene, but for what purpose? Why do all that? I mean, Maya knows more than she's letting on. Yeah, I guess we still need a motive. So you lost consciousness when you were in the garden, is that right? Yes. I think it happened when the victim was stabbed. So then that person that carried you into the inner temple could only have been the killer. That makes sense. Okay, yeah, actually, no, it's starting to make sense. There's a third person. I think it was a little bit weird for me because there was two people involved and one of them had to, like, at least one of them was unconscious, and then she ends up in the, Maya ends up in the cavern so that to enact Mia's plan to protect her. That's what I think too. So the killer carried Maya into the inner temple. By the time I got back to the garden, the place had totally changed. Naturally, the killer must have done it, right? Yes, I think so. But why would the killer tamper with the crime scene like that? There must have been something that the killer desperately wanted to hide. The truth is, when I saw the crime scene, I felt something. You did? Yes. I felt like the killer was hiding the evidence for me, for my sake. Well, hiding it for you? Everyone knew that I was the only one at the inner temple that night. If Sister Bikini had come back and looked at the garden, she may have thought that you had done it. No, she definitely would have thought so. You're saying that's why the killer cleaned up the crime scene to make it look like nothing happened. Yes, I'm sure of it. Well, that's certainly an important piece of information. I want you to add that to your testimony. Yes, Your Honor. I think, okay. They did it for your sake? Well, if the body and the blood hadn't been removed, I would have immediately been the prime suspect. That doesn't make sense, actually. No, that doesn't make sense at all. Why write this blood? Oh, okay. I actually don't know who wrote the blood. But it could still make sense. Because if it was Godot that did it, he would have cleaned up this blood if he could. But he can't. He's physically incapable because his eyesight. So, okay. But, like, this is... Okay. But to get to that point of the logic, you know, we have to present... Okay, this is the evidence. Okay, we need to use this. Okay. So, okay, we use this to cause doubt whether they were actually doing it for her sake, which will eventually lead to us corroborating that he was doing it for her sake. He just missed the spot. I would have immediately been the prime suspect, right? Yes, I suppose that's true. If her real identity had come out right then, it would have been terrible. But her identity is present. So, Master Kurain killed by own daughter. I don't think Maya would have been able to handle it. But still, it's rather difficult to fathom the killer's motives. What reason is there to go through that much trouble to protect you? Let me go back. Okay. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Okay, so I think Iris did write this or something. I guess that's the idea. I'm guessing Godot did all this, so to stop the channeling of SMH Bakushin Silly. Did you know there's audio for that GIF now? I don't know, I can't find it right now, but just if you want to look for it yourself, there's now audio associated with that GIF. Yeah. The body of Elise Donim was carried all the way to Hazakura Temple's courtyard. Link? It's definitely on Twitter. You can probably just find it. You just so I can avoid it? Oh yeah, true. Yeah. Too bad. I'm already avoiding it, so. Then at the garden, the real scene of the crime. The snow that we suspected was covered in blood and was scooped up and removed. It's reasonable to believe all this was done in an attempt to hide the true crime scene. However, there's still one matter that seems somewhat odd. Oh? What would that be? You must have figured it out by now, Mr. Godot. It's a message written in blood on the lantern. It was written very clearly on the white stone lantern. You're just gonna have to avoid it on your own, Sag. Maya? If the killer was so motivated to protect Maya from suspicion, then why didn't they wipe the writing off the lantern? Ah, you're right. Order. But Mr. Wright, isn't it a fact that the killer was trying to cover up the crime scene? Indeed, but it doesn't make much sense to move the body and remove the bloody stone, then not wipe off the most incriminating thing of all, the bloody writing. Oh, okay. I think. If he was trying to remove the bloody, he couldn't even see the blood in the first place. So that's why he probably had to do a uniform sweep of the, because he couldn't even, you probably can't even determine where the blood was in the first place. So he had to be like, okay, I'm gonna do this radius and hopefully. Wait a second. Okay. I think it's getting more clear. This is just a severe handicap when it comes to covering up a crime scene. Damn, he's Giga Nerd. I'm surprised he got this far. But if that's the case, do you have an explanation for killer's mysterious behavior? Why would this killer move the body and remove all the snow, but then leave the bloody writing on the lantern? I don't know what the killer's plan was, but it's a fact that the killer left the writing on the lantern. There must be a reason for it. Well then, Miss Wright, let's hear your opinion. Why did the killer leave the message? The killer didn't notice it. Prosecutor Godot, earlier in this trial, you gave me some good advice. Once you eliminate the possible, whatever remains must be the truth. Maybe you're not as dumb as I thought. The real killer wanted to disguise the fact that a crime had occurred there. If that's the case, they wouldn't have left some bloody writing on the stone lantern on purpose. Therefore, it must mean that they didn't notice it. But that doesn't make any sense. The torches were all lit and everything. There's no way any normal person would miss something as glaring as that. You're right. There's no way any normal person would. What? What are you trying to say, Mr. Wright? There's only one person involved in this incident. Who could have missed seeing the bloody writing altogether? And who would that be? Who is this person that would have failed to notice the bloody writing? Okay, Godot. I'm sorry, Godot. Mr. Godot, this is what you said yesterday. My eyesight is pretty messed up. Even with these huge goggles on my head, I still can't see everything. You can't see everything? Is that correct, Mr. Godot? The lantern was submitted as evidence today. I would like the court to think back to the moment it was first presented. This lantern. There's something written on it. Why? What? It's written in blood. Nonsense. This lantern, it's as clean as a whistle. Mr. Godot just admitted. There are certain colors you can't see, correct? Bro, you can't even read this text. That's crazy. You can't see red on a white background, can you? That's right. We went through this once before. During the poisoning case at Trebion. This is the apron the delightful Miss Bird was wearing at the time, and somehow spilled coffee on. There's something still bothering you, Mr. Godot. Why have you not explained the bloodstain to the court? Yeah, like blood upon the snow, yeah. Bloodstain? What bloodstain would that be? Don't play games, prosecutor. The blood color stain that's smeared all over the apron. That's ridiculous. No one told me anything about a bloodstain. Damn, this is what, like, living with a disability is like, bruh. Like, everyone just assumes you're, like, functional, and it's like, what the fuck? Oh my god. You could see the coffee on the white apron. But you couldn't see the ketchup, because it was red. Ha! It's strange. In a black and white photo, those letters would have appeared black to me. I wonder why am I the only one that can't see them? So then, Mr. Go, are you admitting it? Are you admitting that you can't see the red writing on the lantern? Hey, Gramps, didn't you know? That's the reason why I don't drink red tea. I wasn't sure about it until now, but I just can't believe it. Prosecutor Godot is the murderer. But there's no going back now. I finally figured out the truth. Mr. Godot, the defense at this time formally accuses you. You are the murderer of Miss Elise Donim, also known as Miss Misty Faye. It's hard to believe this may be true. However, once again, Mr. Wright has brought up a disquieting fact about you. Ha! Just make sure you don't fill out the indictment in red ink, Gramps. Come on, how does the little graffiti make me into the killer? Besides, it's not like it's my name that's written there. I'm certain that the killer wasn't able to see the color red. This is Rich. Don't go on, try it. The answer is right there at the crime scene. In the snow. Oh, the talisman! In the snow? How so? Well, for example, why did the killer move all that snow? Your Honor, you said it yourself. If you wanted to hide the bloody snow, why not take out just that area? Yes, why didn't you just take that area? Could it be? Yes, the killer couldn't see the red blood that had seeped into the snow. Furutiri could have escaped from Godot? That's true. And so he had to remove all of the snow. He couldn't be sure of where the blood had landed, so he removed the whole area. Isn't it more likely the killer couldn't see the blood because it was dark? Oh shoot, let me see some. Yeah. Oh my god. Not a chance. The torches were all lit. He would have been able to see just fine. It seems that once again this trial has taken an unexpected turn, to say the least. Can you explain this, Mr. Godot? Alright, Mr. Godot. Wait just a minute. Maya? What is it, witness? Mr. Godot isn't the killer. After all, he didn't even come to the inner temple until 2 days after the murder took place. He didn't show up until after that old bridge got fixed up. Objection! Maya. You can't testify to something like that. That's true. She was, like, not here. Why? What do you mean? I may not look it, but I'm... Eek! After the murder happened, you didn't even exist. She didn't? I'm afraid I don't follow. Are you senile, old man? We established this just a little while ago. After the murder, this witness was unconscious for a long time. Because she was channeling Dahlia Hawthorne. Oh, that's right. But please, Your Honor, let me add to my testimony. Nick, please listen to me. Maya, do you plan to cover for Godot no matter what the cost? That's the case, then I've got no choice. Your Honor, let's hear her testimony. If it means we're going to hear the whole truth, I say we should not silence her. Ha! Nicely done, Trite. Very well. Let's hear the witness's testimony. Please tell us what happened at the inner temple after the murder. Yes, sir. After I woke up and began channeling and my spirit left me, as it were. But little Pearly was there at the inner temple too. Okay. Pearly was also stuck on the inner temple side that night. The next morning, she looked around but couldn't find anyone. The next day, when the bridge was finally fixed, she was in the spare prep room. That's when Mr. Godot arrived at the inner temple for the first time. He found Pearly first and cheered her right up. Who is this Pearly? That's my little cousin, Pearl Faye. When did you hear about this? Oh, just a while ago when I was in the medical office. Terribly sorry. Well, what you heard from someone else is simply not admissible as testimony. What? Come on! Pearly would never tell a lie. She's a way more honest person than I'll ever be. Real smart, Maya. You always know the best things to say when you're under oath. Ha! The prosecution has no objection. We believe the witness. Mr. Godot? Let's just move on to the cross-examination if the defense has no objections. This is highly unusual, but, well, Mr. Wright, let's get this cross-examination started. I trust her, bro. I know. Pearly was also stuck on the inner temple side that night. Next morning, she looked around but couldn't find anyone. Next day, when the bridge was finally fixed, she was in the spare prep room. Let's press this. So it was your first time on the inner temple side, Mr. Godot. That's funny. Am I imagining things, or did the defense ask me a question? Mr. Wright, please save your questions for the witness. What you heard from someone else is simply not admissible as testimony. Those are your words, Your Honor. Touche, Mr. Wright. Oh well. What do you have to say, Mr. Godot? Hot nights and even hotter coffee. That's what I always say. If it hadn't been for this case, I never would have visited there. Freezing cold temple in the mountains. I think I'll pass. So he had never visited Hazakura Temple or the inner temple, huh? Ha! You want to say something, right? In any case, I have to find a crack in Godot's armor. While I cross-examine Maya, that is. Very well, please go on with your testimony. After fixing the bridge, the policeman came over to the inner temple side, right? Yes, when Mr. Godot cheered her right up. He cheered her up? That's what Pearly said. He said he was a very nice older gentleman. Thank you for looking after my cousin, Mr. Godot. And here I was thinking you were nothing more than a coffee addict. Ha! Cut it out. You're making me blush. This guy is really beginning to get on my nerves in more ways than one. And the truth is, there aren't that many places to look on the inner temple side. Policemen were all busy going over the garden with fine-tooth comb. I decided to carry out an investigation in my own way. Godot style. I just realized... Alright. I'll think about it more before I say it. I'm the same way. I like to hand down verdicts in my own way, judge style. Maybe I should ask some questions, Phoenix style. You said that you conducted an investigation of your own. Did you find anything? Looks like my investigation went about as well as yours tried. After all, I did miss the bloody writing on black. Well, I didn't miss it, so speak for yourself, Goggles. The only odd thing I discovered was the beauty in the training hall. Beauty? Missy Faye, naturally. Clad in her stunning Japanese garb, surrounded by the hue and aroma of Western tastes. Maybe she eats some cheese rat style. Western taste. Could you find a stranger way to describe gravy? Gravy? From there, are we going to use the gravy alibi that Pearl had? So from there, you headed for the prep room? Wait a second. What did Go just say now? I think I just found his proverbial weak spot. There's only one thing of any importance here. Where was Godot when the murder was taking place? He must have already been at the inner temple when it happened. Otherwise, he couldn't have killed at least Donin. Why did he mention gravy? Couldn't find anyone. Yeah, what? This has got to be a throw. Did he just mention gravy just so we could be like... Oh! Yeah! Yeah, okay, he kind of threw. Okay, so this dates his arrival then, right? Because it happened during Pearl's enactment of the note, which is during the murder, right? So this is not okay. Okay, I think this is it. Then it's not the first time. I think that's what. Objection! Oh my god. Okay, so Godot threw, or maybe he was trying to get caught. I don't know. One of those two. The first time you crossed Dusky Bridge and went into the inner temple was long before the murder took place. Buzzky's always throwing in this game. I know. Why do you say that? Because he just made one fatal slip-up. The hanging scroll in the training hall. Hanging scroll? What? Mr. Godot is right. That scroll shows a picture of my mother. Maya, I know you know who it is, but here's something you didn't know. By the time the bridge had been repaired 2 days after the murder, the hanging scroll in the training hall looked like this. What's that wonderfully delicious smell? Ew! There's no way it smells that good. How long has it been gravy? There's no way gravy doesn't, like, ferment or something. Ugh. Don't you have to refrigerate that stuff? I don't know. I'm just like, there's no way. It's food, bro. I don't even want to think about, like, the stuff multiplying in that thing. The morning after the crime, someone covered it with gravy. Gravy? But why gravy, Nick? Because gravy was much more than a condiment to the culprit. Well, Mr. Godot, if you really hadn't seen the hanging scroll until after the murder, you wouldn't have any way of knowing that it was Misty Faye. Oh, wait a minute, Nick. Take another look at the hanging scroll. Look at the top. There's a crest there. Gravy is starch plus animal fat, so yes, I imagine it would become quite gross. Ew. Ew. Ah, that. It's a mark of the master, correct? Exactly. So if you know the meaning of the mark, then you could guess that it was a picture of Misty Faye on there. True, but Mr. Godot described what was underneath like it's clad in her stunning Japanese garb, surrounded by the hue and aroma of Western tastes. Oh. Yes, it's possible that he knew what the crest meant. However, he couldn't have known that she was wearing Japanese clothing. I don't know, it's a hanging scroll? You could have just assumed with you could have just been really narrow-minded and just assumed. Mr. Godot, on the day of the murder, you were hiding at the inner temple long before the crime took place. Can I ask you just one little thing, Trey? What is it? This whole theory, it all rests on a certain assumption. It's normally made with fat rendered from some meat with water or stock, and adding some starch or flour to thicken it. Oh. That I knew beforehand that a crime was going to be committed. That's right. Otherwise, there's no reason for him to sneak onto the crime scene. Is it the burnt papers? Of course, Mr. Godot knew about the plan. Huh? What did you say? Yeah, because there's instructions. Yeah, it's premeditated, so the only way to know is the papers. Gravely roast the master. This crime was actually planned over a year ago. Morgan Faye authored the plan for her daughter's future, and those instructions were hidden somewhere in Faye Manor for a year. However, by the time Little Pearls found these instructions, they had already been unsealed. Oh! Yeah, they were. Yeah, that's true. They did mention that. The killer had read these instructions long before Pearl ever found them. That's how he knew the crime was to take place at the inner temple. And you still insist this crafty killer is me? You bet I do. But you just said that the instructions were hidden. That's right. Mr. Godot couldn't have known where the instructions were hidden. If you really wanted to know, he had one great chance to find out. Yes, and when was that? During a visit. A visit? Morgan Faye told her daughter, Pearl, about where the instructions were hidden. During one of her visits to the detention center. That would be the only time for someone to have learned where they were hidden. Eavesdropping on a visit at the detention center? Yes, it would be arranged if you were someone with easy access in and out of there. Like, for example, a prosecutor such as Mr. Godot. Order. Mr. Godot, you're under fire again. This murder could not have been carried out without prior knowledge. And you were the only one that could have acquired this information before the murder. I mean, he's like a really likely candidate, but only one is kind of, humans are afraid of the dark. And yet, at the same time, we're fascinated and bewitched by it. Oh, speak for yourself. I'm not walking in darkness, bruh. I'm not going under my bed at nighttime. Maybe that's why humans drink. Have you guys ever went downstairs in pitch black? That's scary as fuck. I'm out of there. Maybe that's why humans drink the darkness. That is coffee. Sorry for always asking, well, what does that mean? It means there's a reason for everything. According to your theory, the killer, in this case, he eavesdropped on a conversation during a jail visit where he learned of a hidden plan for a crime. After discovering the plans, he hid in the inner temple and waited for the crime to occur. Then he ultimately took a person's life. Downstairs, I live in NYC, not in there. I've always been in apartments. You could be in like a multi-story apartment during a blackout. He did all that just to protect his witness. That's right. If you're accusing me again, not a million. A blackout? That's some slum. Oh my gosh. New York barely has space. They're building vertically. Don't give me that millionaire shit. If you're accusing me of this crime, I have to ask you, why would I do this? This girl is nothing but a stranger to me. I've got no reason to go through that kind of trouble to protect her. What, 2-floor apartment? No, I mean like... I don't mean like it's still, you can still have studios on multiple floors. I've got no reason to go through that kind of trouble to protect her. I am what you see. I am certainly not the type to rescue damsel in distress. The killer's behavior is certainly extreme, for lack of a better word. I'm considering that the killer wanted to protect this witness's life. His behavior is still a little too unnatural. However, you had a good reason, didn't you, Mr. Godot? An unshakable reason that forced you to protect this witness at all costs. I knew it. You figured it out, haven't you, Nick? Maya? I guess you were doing your best to cover for Godot. For the same reason, huh? Okay, try it. I'm all ears. Let's hear it. It's very simple. Maya Fey is a lot more than just a stranger to you. There's one person who lies at the very center of this whole story. Mia. One person that ties you and Maya Fey together inextricably. Oh yeah. There's a very good reason why Maya's Fey life is so precious to you. After all, she's Mia Fey's only sister. Mia Fey. You once worked alongside her. That was when you were a defense attorney. Well, wait a second here. Mr. Godot is a defense attorney? With your honors-piercing intellect, you must have figured it out by now. The real name of this man who calls himself Godot? His real name is Diego Armando, isn't that right? The last time someone called me by that name was over 6 years ago. Diego Armando? That name rings a bell. It should, Your Honor. All of this is related to a single case. Case in which a convict named Terry Falls killed himself. Mia Fey's first time in court? The tragic outcome left a deep wound in her heart. She knew that behind it all was a heartless, scheming demoness in disguise. In the end, Mia couldn't tear off that disguise. However, there was one man who reached out to help her. Diego Armando, a senior defense attorney at the office where Mia worked. It's my fault. It's all my fault that Mr. Falls killed himself. Mia, you can't cry yet. The only time a lawyer can cry is when it's all over. Holy aura, bruh. I was moved by her. The way she put all her faith in her clients, that pure sweetheart of hers. That's why I could never forgive Dahlia Hawthorne. Mia and I thoroughly investigated that fake kidnapping incident. Then one fateful day, Dahlia wanted to meet with me. It had been 6 months since the trial. We met in the courthouse cafeteria. Ah, I just remembered. 6 years ago, right here in this courthouse, you were poisoned. Even I didn't see it coming. Dahlia Hawthorne slipped some poison into my coffee. Some newspapers at the time called it a murder. Very little information about the case was released to the press. But you weren't dead at all. No official reports ever actually called it a murder. I was just in a deep, deep coma. I see. My body shut down and my life became nothing but a long, deep sleep. That one's poison did a real number on my central nervous system. I lost my sight and all my hair turned white due to the damage it caused. That's terrible. Da, da, da. Apparently it was a miracle that I ever regained consciousness. Oh my god, this melody is so good. Da, 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 da. 5 years had passed since I drank that poison brew. Da, da. Then one morning, my eyes flew open from the smell of the doctor's cup of coffee. But 5 years? You were asleep for 5 years? And the worst possible news was waiting for me. Da, 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 da. Mia Fey was dead. From the very moment I opened my eyes, I had already lost everything I thought I had. The woman I loved had been murdered. The woman I loathed had been sentenced to death. The woman you loathed? The woman had spiked my scalding hot coffee, Dahlia Hawthorne. Ha! Good old Mia. She didn't let me down. She got her revenge before she checked out. In the end, there wasn't anyone waiting for me when I woke up. That's so sad. For someone like me, for someone who had slept away their best days, there were only 2 reasons left to live. It was for those 2 reasons I decided to become a prosecutor. If I may ask, what were your 2 reasons to live? The first was you, Trite. Huh? Me? If I hadn't drank that stupid poison, Mia Fey never would have died, much less the way she did. You were the only one who was there to protect her, but you let her die. It was all your fault. It wasn't like that. I wanted to see for myself what kind of man you really were. So that's why you became a prosecutor? My other reason for living? She goes by the name of Maya Fey. Huh? You mean me? You were the only way I could make up for the sin of not saving Mia. 1 year ago, when the Kurain village incident was resolved, it was obvious that Morgan Fey was planning something. Whatever her evil plan was, I was determined to stop it. My role as a prosecutor put me in the perfect position to do something about it. That's how you overheard Pearl's visit with Morgan at the detention center. I knew that the time was drawing near. Since I knew the plan, I thought I could foil it. My goal was to outwit the plan. I thought if I could do that, I could keep that girl from me caught up in it. That makes sense. If Pearls had known that the actual purpose of the plan was to kill Maya, she never would have helped out. Finally, the day of the plan was drawing near. I contacted both of my accomplices? Iris of Hazakura Temple and Misty Fey. I especially needed the help of Iris. She was to take the fall in my backup plan in case we couldn't control Pearl Fey. But, how did you contact my mother? She had been missing for almost 20 years. Officially, yes. What? What do you mean officially? You've heard about it, haven't you? About the strong ties between the main family and the government? Now that I mention it, Bikini did say something to that effect. She said the Master of Kurain had great authority. And with our official position, Misty Fey still wielded great influence. Police have been keeping an eye on her movements all this time. That's how I was able to contact her, again, because of my position as a prosecutor. So my mother was cooperating with you? Don't ever forget. No matter how far away from you she was, she never stopped thinking about you. She was always... That's why I knew she would do anything to protect you. You want to know how strong her resolve to protect you was? Look at her staff. Her staff? The one with the sword in it? The day the plan was to be carried out arrived soon enough. We met for the first time at Hazakura Temple. That's when your mother showed me her special staff. I realized then just how far she was willing to go. She was ready to use that sword to protect you from Morgan Fey if necessary. Yes, even if it meant paying the ultimate price. But, Mother... That night, the night of the crime, there was just one way to stop Morgan's evil plan. You mean Pearls, don't you? We had to make sure she didn't channel Dahlia Hawthorne. Well, Pearl, what are you going to do tonight? Well, if you like, you can come to my room. Perhaps we can read some books together. We thought we could prevent her from playing her part in Morgan's plan, but she never showed up. She was worried and followed me to the inner temple. That was the thing we were most afraid of. And that's why Misty Fey had to do the channeling herself. Makes sense. She channeled Dahlia Hawthorne into her own body. Okay, now it's starting to make sense, yeah. What do you mean? She channeled the spirit first, and Pearls wouldn't be able to do it herself. As Master of Kurain, Misty Faye's power was supreme. That's how it went down. She channeled Dahlia Hawthorne so that Pearl Faye wouldn't be able to do it. Ah! Should have let her watch YouTube on iPad? What? Is this true? My role in the plan was to make sure no one was going to hurt Maya Faye. That's why I hid myself at the inner temple. Just in case you needed to be saved from Dahlia Hawthorne. Good-o. Anyway, that's all I'm going to admit to, Trite. There's no doubt about it. You're great defensive 20, but you're going to have to do the rest yourself. The background leading up to this incident has been laid bare. There's just one question remaining. Mr. Wright, who killed the victim? There are only two possible suspects right now. Maya Faye, and I'm sad to say you, Mr. Godot. Ugh, we're almost there. Well, try it. If you're the real deal, then finish this thing once and for all. Show us beyond a shadow of a doubt that you can finish this on your own. No, Nick. Please don't. Maya. I heard the whole thing from my sister in the medical office. That's why I have to protect Mr. Godot. I can't do it. I can't testify against him. After all, he's the man who put his life on the line to protect Mia. And me too. Maya, I know that. Nick? But even so, it doesn't absolve him of his crime. Please, Maya, testify. Miss Faye, your testimony, please. This is the final testimony. Let's go. No more Phoenix Wright games after this. Don't bother trying to hide anything because I'll know. I want to hear the truth from your own lips. I understand. I'm sure you're right. I'm ready now, Nick. Alright, young lady. Tell us about the moments before you lost consciousness. What exactly happened at the time of the murder? Just before it happened, I think I saw some red lights. 3 of them. I thought I'd ask for help, but just then I was splattered with blood. She wasn't dead though, and she struck back at the enemy behind her. Suddenly, the red lights went out and the whole area was dark. Just at that moment, there was a horrible scream. Right after that, Dahlia collapsed and I lost consciousness. Those red lights. I thought you said you don't remember seeing them. I'm sorry. I thought I saw them, but then they disappeared all of a sudden. Things break trite. Even the best of theories. Who was it that stabbed Misty Faye? It looks like you still can't prove it. Maya's telling the truth this time, I know it. The rest is up to me. Well then, Mr. Wright, proceed with your final cross-examination of the witness. Just before it happened, I think I saw some. Okay. I was splattered by blood. Okay, let's see. That blood, was it Dahlia Hawthorne's blood? I think so. Probably, just at the moment. Heard a soft scream that seemed to be close by. It was a woman's voice, so that was when the killer stabbed the victim from behind with the murder weapon. Is that right? Without a doubt, Maya was in the middle of a really dangerous situation. Anyway, the victim was stabbed by the murder weapon. What happened after that? She struck back at the enemy behind her. With what weapon? It says struck back. How do you know that? Well, you're right. I didn't see it exactly. I could tell by the sounds of the breathing and movement. And also the smell of blood. Yeah, witnessed more horror than any young lady should have ever have to in one life. So then what did you do at that point? I couldn't move. I could just barely make out their shadows moving in the dark. I had no idea what to do. Do you still see the red lights you mentioned earlier? Yes, I think so. But... They went out? Yes, suddenly I couldn't see them at all. What could it mean? If the red lights were coming from Godot's mask, and they went out right in the middle of the fight, maybe the mask was damaged. Or maybe it was knocked off. Or maybe the batteries ran out, right, Trite? Or maybe those little red pinhead looking lights just stopped working. What could have really happened then? Okay. What do you mean by just at that moment? The lights are coffee powered? Oh my god, like Frankie. Powered by cola. Do you mean the moment when the red lights went out? Yes, that's right. Scream that you heard then. Was it Dahlia Hawthorne? I don't think so. Uh-oh. I'm pretty sure it was a man's voice. Wait! Hold on. The blood doesn't match the victim. So it wasn't Dahlia's. Then this must have been Godot. Is this like okay? I guess that's why they purposely didn't analyze, give us the results, the complete results of the analysis, so they can like narratively it'll come up later and be actually okay. This is probably Godot's blood then. Yeah, Frankie Super. Okay. This might be. Let me see. That's what they want me to do. It was a man's voice. What? So then the stat screen came from the killer? That's got to be it. I think Dahlia Hawthorne must have taken the blade and attacked the killer with it. And the killer let out a scream of play. After that, the killer stole the blade back and delivered the final blow. Killer stole the blade back and delivered the final blow, I guess. Well, Mr. Wright, it seems to make sense to me. Also, Godot produced the dagger, too. Contradiction. Sorry to say this, but that interpretation would create an enormous contradiction. That makes sense. After all, my deductions are almost certainly never correct. Godot redesign reminds me of Kamen Rider? There's a redesign? After all, my deductions are almost certainly never correct. Remember the testimony she gave. Before the killer let out a scream, Maya said she had already been splattered by the victim's blood. In other words, the blade in the staff had already been plunged into the victim. Ah, is that right? She couldn't have struck back with the sword that was already stuck in her body. The weapon that caused the killer to let out a scream must have been something other than the staff. If you're so sure about that, then don't keep us waiting any longer, Trite. There's only one thing I can think of. That could have been used as a weapon. Here. Dahlia Hawthorne had already been stabbed in the back by the staff. What could she have used to strike? Okay, it's a dagger. Ah! There we go. Naturally, the dagger the killer brought to the scene of the crime. Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. This dagger was found at the crime scene stuck in a pine tree. Yes, the detective found that this morning and brought it to me. Dahlia Hawthorne struck back at the killer with this, and she managed to wound him as well. Objection. Just because he let out a scream doesn't mean that he was wounded. What? He got kicked in the nuts or something? For all we know, the blood on the dagger could have been... Bro, we literally established it's not from the victim. Alright, come on, Godot. Stop throwing. Lock in. Have you forgotten that the blood was already been tested? Since we learned it wasn't the victim's blood, it must be the killer's blood. Killer must have a wound somewhere on his body. You're saying the blood on this dagger belongs to the killer. Exactly. DNA analysis of the blood would prove it beyond a shadow of a doubt. And yes, Mr. Godot, it would prove that it's your blood. Nice theory, Trite. Order in the court. Is this the end? Have I done it? Even he won't be able to change the results of the scientific test. Ha! Let me ask you something, Trite. Let's just say that it turned out that I was a killer. Do you really think I would be stupid enough to leave evidence like that? What? Just think for a second. This dagger was found this morning by a detective and brought to me. But he doesn't know there's blood on it. This is... Okay, come on, bruh. This guy's nerfed so bad, bruh. There's already blood on it, correct? But even so, I was the one who brought the dagger here to the courtroom. Yes, was that proof? Well, if I really were the killer, I could have washed the blade off and planted another person's blood on it. But it can't be. In any case, there's one thing I can guarantee, Trite. That blood, it doesn't belong to me. Not a chance. What? Okay, no, maybe it's not that then. In any event, it seems to be established the killer was wounded. Alright then, witness, continue your testimony. Wait a minute, what's the problem? I know I probably shouldn't say this, but there's a big contradiction in Nick's explanation. But Maya, this dagger, you said that wounded the killer. That's right. But if Mr. Godot had really been cut with a dagger, His clothes should be bloody or have a rip in them, right? He can wear different clothes. Are you kidding me? Maya, maybe he just changed his clothes. That solves the contradiction pretty easily. What are you talking about? It's not that simple at all. Remember back to the day of the murder. Everyone that was on the inner temple side got trapped there. Ah, that's right. And once the bridge was fixed and the police headed for the inner temple, Mr. Godot was already there waiting for them. He never had a chance to change his clothes. Oh, okay. Oh, I see. It would have been noticeable during the investigation. Okay. You know what? All right. My bad. Sorry for doubting. Sorry, I shouldn't have doubted the goat, Maya. Well, maybe he brought a change of clothes with him. But no one could have predicted the lightning strike that shut down the bridge. Yeah. Why would anyone have brought a change of clothes? That's true. Oh my god, Judge is cooking my ass. Oh god. Does the Judge take smart pills during the last recess? Oh shit. Well then maybe the killer took off his clothes before he committed his murder. That way he couldn't get any blood on them. That's impossible, Trite. You know how cold it gets up there late night. Eh? After a few minutes with no clothes on, you'd be frozen solid. But if no one noticed the blood because they contracted not seeing red from him. True. Ha! So that's all you got. I knew you weren't tough enough to finish this. Right now, if Mia Fey were... Oh! The lights stopped, so Oh, okay. I don't know, actually. Alright. If Mia Fey were here, she would have closed the book on this case already. If Mia Fey were here... So come on, Trite. Can you do it or not? How about it, Mr. Wright? You could accuse Mr. Godot of being the killer, but can you prove it? Have you got even one piece of evidence? The question isn't whether I can prove it or not. The fact is, I have to prove it. It's the only choice I have. I was taught that it's one of the rules of being a lawyer. I can prove it. I'm going to bring your magnificent vengeance to fruition, just as you want it. That's good. A fighter till the better end. Try it. There's just one piece of evidence that can prove your point. Why don't we go for the unlimited penalty? Are you trying to pressure me, Mr. Godot? Because it doesn't matter to me. I've got one piece of evidence I need. Give me a break. You've got nothing, Trite. So what do I do at a time like this? Simple. I've got to think outside the box and approach this from a different angle. Alright then, Mr. Wright, let's hear what you got. There's one thing I've demonstrated in the previous prosecution. The killer was wounded. That was proven by the blood on the dagger. But we decided it was impossible for him to have hidden such a wound. If he had been cut by a dagger, there shouldn't have a blood stain on his clothing. There's one place. One place the killer could have hidden his face! Yes, his face! And that's why the lights went out or something like that. Or maybe his mask got knocked off and he got stabbed in the face or something. Oh my god, it's like when I think Acro or something? This is it, my last time. I need to think about this from a different angle. I don't need to think about why there were no bloodstains on his clothing. I need to show how he hid the wound. It's the end of the line. The final stop, Trite. Let's hear what you've got. Where's his mask? Is there like evidence for his mask? The hood, truly the hood. Okay, it's got to be the mask. Ha! I don't know what you're talking about. And frankly, I don't need to know. What do I know? What I do know is that you'll never be half the lawyer she was. Isn't that right, Trite? What was that just now? Mia? It can't be. You're living on through him? Even as we speak, you're still hiding the wound. Damn, the aura, bro. It's beneath your mask. During the fight, the red lights given off by the killer suddenly disappeared. Seconds later, the killer let out a scream. That's right, your mask went flying off your face. And Mr. Godot, would you mind removing your mask? If you have a dagger wound under there somewhere, then I'd say this whole case is solved. Dang, Maya might have been the goat there. Damn. Just now, I saw her spirit in you. I never liked you. 6 years ago, you helped the woman who put me to sleep by hiding her bottle of poison. And then, hey, that was not even his fault either. He was being duped by an evil, manipulative. Um, okay, I can't finish that, but you can probably. I'll leave it as an exercise to the reader to figure out what I was gonna say next. While I was sleeping, you let Mia die. But you didn't care. You just kept living your pathetic, happy-go-lucky life. You even had the nerve to follow in her footsteps as a lawyer. I could never forgive you. That's what I thought. Mr. Godot. But I was wrong about you. I knew it from the very beginning. The truth is, the only person I could never find it in my heart to forgive was himself. Was me. Yourself? I was the one that failed to protect Mia. Me and no one else. I tried to avert my eyes from the truth, escape from the harshest reality. I just couldn't face Mia's death head on, so I ran. I hid behind a mask. I threw away my true name. I couldn't even deal with being a defense attorney anymore, so I quit. But you saved Maya. Yeah, that was my plan. Up until just now, anyway. Oh, what do you mean? Are you listening, Maya? If I had really wanted to save you, then there's one person I should have gone and talked to right away. Who would that be? Are you talking about Nick? But I didn't do it. I tried to get the help of Iris and your mother. When I closed my eyes, the most important man involved. Did you know why? The real reason? No, why? I suppose I wasn't really interested in saving you at all. Huh? I think I was just trying to salvage what's left of my own broken soul. I was trying to make up for the fact that I couldn't save Mia. Nothing more. That's why I let you walk right into a situation that I knew was dangerous. Forgive me. You're wrong. You put your life on the line to save Maya. Was it really for Maya's sake? Even I'm not really sure. Well, what do you mean by that? That night in the darkness of the garden, when I saw her silhouette? A part of me must have known the truth. The truth that it wasn't really Dahlia Hawthorne standing there in front of me. It could have been Missy, Faye, or even that little girl. But I still picked up the blade. It was like I was dreaming. I'm not sure exactly what was going on in my mind at that point. Was I really motivated by pure desire to protect Maya Faye? Or was it something else? Revenge, I guess. Yeah, revenge. Was it my hatred for a woman who'd stolen everything from me 6 years earlier? Could it have been simply a desire for revenge? Damn. And now, I don't know anything anymore. I did learn something today, however. I finally realized that I was the arrogant one. I was just chasing an illusion, a fantasy. The stupid fantasy of defeating you in the courtroom. You were the one who made me realize my folly. You never ran away from Mia's death. Instead, you picked up where she left off as a true defender of the people. In that one moment, I understood everything. He was waiting for Godot. Mr. Godot. I think you already know this, but if you don't, my name is Diego Armando. But Mr. Armando, I believe in you. I know you were trying to save me. Damn. All right. Thanks. Oh my god, this guy never stops RF farming, bro. Your wound, it's bleeding. Ha, did you forget already? In my world, the color red doesn't exist. These must be my tears. Oh my god. Okay, bro, we see the fit, bro. Tears? Ever since I woke up from my coma, I think I've been waiting for this very moment. Oh my god. Mr. Armando. You do well to remember this, Maya. The only time a lawyer can cry is when it's all over. Da 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 da. This time, it really is all over, isn't it? Defendant? Yes, Your Honor. Although you weren't directly involved in the murder, tampering with the body and this crime scene is a serious offense in itself. I understand, Your Honor. Mr. Armando explained that to me very carefully. It's so Jover, Sag. Mr. Armando explained that to me very carefully. I knew the risk and I willingly cooperated anyway. Very well. Before I hand down my verdict, is there anything you'd like to see? Well, there's one thing. I'd like to say something, Mr. Wright. I want to apologize to you. Apologize to me? Oh, is this they've been building up to this reveal for a while. I don't really remember it. But I imagine she was the one who was actually dating Phoenix Wright. I can't even imagine Dahlia doing that. Like, Dahlia is so selfish. I don't think she'd like. It feels like beneath her to like associate with Wright or something like that. But okay, I guess we're gonna find out. For the case 5 years ago, of course. I just remembered. Weren't you poisoned by your own lover? Not exactly, but yeah, something like that. Even now, 5 years ago, I can hardly believe it. She was going to do it. She was planning to kill me. It's not all that surprising. The two of you hardly knew each other. Huh? What do you mean? You and my sister? You only met twice. Da, 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 da. Huh? We only met twice? The first time you met was on that fateful day. The day she poisoned Mr. Armando in the cafeteria of this very courthouse. Next time you met her was 8 months later. You met her again on the day that she stole your cold medicine. And Doug Swallow was killed. No way, it can't be true. I mean, during our whole relationship, we were, for those 8 months, the woman that you thought was Dahlia Hawthorne wasn't actually my sister. Huh? It wasn't Dahlia? I hope one day you can forgive me, Feeny. You mean? That's right. I lied to you for 8 months. But why? Why would you do such a thing? Ever since she gave you the bottle that day, my sister was trying to get it back as soon as she possibly could. Because of the police investigation and the surveillance, she couldn't move about freely. So that's why my sister from the beginning, she was prepared for the worst. Prepared for the worst? She thought you might somehow discover the truth. That's why she was always ready to deal with you at a moment's notice. You mean she was ready to kill me, don't you? She already had so much to answer for. I didn't want any more sins on her soul. Begged her not to do it, and she agreed to give me a chance. And that's why you came to me? You came to get the bottle pendant back from me in her place, but I couldn't get you to give it back. I failed at something even as simple as that. 8 months passed, and I still couldn't get it back from you. Finally, my sister couldn't wait any longer. She didn't consult me about her plans for you that day. It was the first time that had ever happened. That was a bit strange, wasn't it? Up until that day, you two were partners in crime, and she would confer with you. I think she must have noticed. Noticed what? My feelings for you. If I had found out she was planning to kill you, I would have done whatever was necessary to stop her. Even if it meant her life or mine. Iris, after spending those 8 months by your side, my feelings toward you, they changed. I have something to say to you too. Yes? You really are the person I always thought you were. Even after Dahlia Hawthorne was found guilty, I still believed in you. Damn. Thank you. She's not Mr. Right, it was Mr. Right. Oh my god. Dang. I need a moment. Oh, okay. Alright, I'm good. How many cups of darkness have I drank over the years? Even I don't know. I'll tell you though. Right now, this one here is the greatest cup I think I ever had. Don't you think so, Phoenix Wright? Yeah, I think you're right. The purpose of this trial was to rule on the murder of the victim, Elise Donim. At some point, I expect you will be tried for your role as accomplished in this case. I understand, Your Honor. Very well. On the charge of the murder, I hereby find the defendant. Yippee! Not guilty! Court is now adjourned. So I guess it's all over. The way everything ended was justice really served. The man who risked his life to save Maya is being sent to prison by my own hand. Of course justice was served. I'm proud of you, Phoenix. Your defense was truly brilliant. But I couldn't save Mr. Armando, the man who cared so deeply for you. You're wrong, Phoenix. You did save Diego. You saved him in the only way possible. You mean with that verdict? I think one day you'll understand too. Phoenix, I want you to remember one thing. You were as good out there today as any defense attorney could ever hope to be. There's nothing more you can learn from me. But Mia, you've accomplished something I wasn't able to. I owe you a great deal. Thank you. Mia, I'm sure we'll meet again. Someday, Phoenix. I've handled lots of cases and seen a lot of things. And along this journey, I found myself asking just one question. What does it really mean to defend someone? I suppose today's case produced one possible answer. Nick. Maya. I guess it's just like my sis said. Mia? What did she say? That night when I challenged Mia to get her advice on what to do, this is what she wrote back in my notebook. Don't worry, Phoenix will save everyone in the end. But, come on, cut it out with that gloomy face. Can't you see? Me, sis, and I'm sure Iris too. We owe you for everything you've done for us, Nick. Maya, how? How can you be so bright and chipper after all that's happened? You were brutally attacked and even saw your mother murdered. Youch! Francisca, you still softy as always, Phoenix, right? Excellent work, Mr. Wright. What is this? Oh my god, he's like, so, how would I describe it? What's the word? It's not bashful, but edgy boy, yeah. Oh my god, the tension. I can cut it with a knife. Excellent work, right? Huh? Mr. Edgeworth, when did you get back? Oh, that's right. I guess no one filled her in on that. Edgeworth and Francisca have actually been helping me. Helping you? If these two hadn't been there on the first day of the trial, the defense wouldn't have gotten anywhere. Wow. But where were you, Nick? I heard he fell into a river and caught a nasty cold which forced him to sleep all day. Okay, when you put it like that... Yes, he laid in bed shivering from his fever with Iris's hood pulled over his head. Oh, ow! Talk about embarrassing, Nick. You definitely need more training. Anyway, thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. And you too, Francisca. I don't suppose there's room for me in this group hug, is there? Oh, Larry. What's with the longer than usual face? I realized something when I was reborn. I realized Larry was never of any use to anyone, not even once. That's not true, right, Nick? What? You're asking me? Well, Nick, is it true? I got a place in this world, right? Huh? Oh, yeah, of course. I knew it. Everyone would be better off if I were gone for good. No. Oh, yeah. Those portraits you painted, they were really good. Isn't that right, Edgeworth? What? Me? Why are you making that face? Huh, Edgy? Oh, well, yes, indeed. I certainly can't say that they lack resemblance. Do you really mean it? What about you, Franzi? Did I draw you well, too? Wah! My beauty can't possibly be captured by a mere crayon. Nevertheless, I recognize the effort you put into something, and that's worth something. So then you'll do it, like you promised? You're gonna model for picture? Don't get carried away. Damn. Well, how about that? I guess painting portraits is the only thing I'm good at. Painting a Pearl was pretty darn good too, if you ask me. Huh? I mentioned I haven't seen her around. Pearls. Where could she have gone? Normally she would have made a beeline for Maya. Oh, I'll go look for her. I'll be right back. Hey, Pearly. Right, you seem to be uncharacteristically puzzled. I expect you are wondering how Maya can be so cheerful despite all that has happened. Yeah. To be honest, I can't understand it either. Francisca. That's right, she lost her father fairly recently as well. Yeah, I understand how she feels. Maya is a much wiser person than she appears, and I think she realizes something. Now is exactly the time when she needs to be as strong as she can. What do you mean by now is exactly the time? Maya was the only one that was badly wounded by this incident. In fact, there was someone that was hurt far more deeply than she. I believe it's for that person that Maya is trying her best not to cry. Someone's hurt more deeply than Maya. Edgeworth, I think I'm starting to understand too. Ow! Then tell me, Phoenix, right? Who is Maya Fey being strong for? Pearl, right? She like lost. She basically lost like 2 family members, like Morgan and Misty, and was like forced to enact a plan she thought was for the good of her, you know, maintaining her family. Da, 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 da. Pearl Fey. The poor kid. After all, the reason that she worked so hard to follow instructions was because she loved and believed in her mother Morgan. It's for the good of the Fey clan. I'm sure she believed in every last word. She thought she was doing it for Maya. That's why she was so happy. It shows how truly devoted she is to Maya. But it's a cruel irony that was her exuberance that led to this tragedy. Maya Fey's mother was killed and Maya herself was put into the deepest peril imaginable. Exactly why Maya is putting on a bright face. She's doing it for Pearl's sake until she can see her smile again. Oh hey, so this is where you all were? Huh, looks like we got a... Youch! What was that for, sir? Sorry about that, Scruffy. My whip just seems to have a mind of its own. What's up, Detective Gumshoe? Oh, you know, this and that. Anyway, congrats on your win. Let's go out tonight, pal. Dinner's on me. My salary's just sort of kind of gone down by a teeny weeny bit, but it's all right. I made reservations at a first-class French restaurant tonight. Ah! Pretty good work, Scruffy. That whip was your reward. Oh, hell nah. Oh my god. I can only imagine. Someone would be like, that should have been me. Detective Gumshoe. How much in salary can possibly be left? I know. You said a first-class French restaurant. You don't mean? Crabion, where else? Bruh, I'm out of here. I knew it. We're doomed. Come on, let's go, everyone. Can't keep Maggie waiting, pal. Hey, you, Crybaby. You're invited too. Oh, forget about me. Pearl and I will be at the loser shack eating potatoes. You know, Maya's taking an awful long time to get back. She's still out looking for pearls. Oh, Maya, what's wrong? Nick, what do I do? Pearly, I can't find her anywhere. Huh? But she just went back home. That's all. Thought so too. So I called the village, but no one has ever heard from her. This has never happened before. I figured she has been badly hurt by this incident. She feels responsible for the tragedy that has befallen you, Maya. But none of this was her fault. What should I do? Detective Gumshoe? Yeah. What is it, pal? You guys go on ahead, but what about you? Maya and I we'll join you guys once we find pearls. Nick, don't worry about us, Detective Gumshoe. We may be a little late, but we'll definitely be here. We have a lot of celebrating to do tonight, and I wouldn't miss it for the world. Yeah, but you're the... Ah! Very well, Phoenix, right. We'll go on ahead. Don't keep us waiting, right? We won't. But where should we look? Where could Pearl have gone? Let's go, Maya. There's only one place I can think of that Pearls might have gone to. Hazakura Temple? For Pearls, I bet this is a very important place. After all, it's where this whole incident started. What's this? You're all back again so soon? Sister Bikini? I thought we'd be eating mashed potatoes alone tonight. So she's here? Pearly's here? She's in training hall. Why don't you go hurry along and go see her? Okay. Pearly's not here. Ah, Maya. The hanging scroll. Ah. Someone cleaned it off. It's gotta be Pearls. Ah! Mystic Maya. Pearly? Why did you just leave like that? Mystic Maya! Mystic Maya! I swore that I would never trouble the two of you ever again, because it's all my fault that Mystic Maya's mother... That's why you came here? It's the least I could do, to pray for your happiness. You don't have to do that, Pearly. It wasn't your fault. You didn't do anything wrong. Of course, I'm sad that my mother is gone. But how do I say this? I'm so happy. You don't have to lie to just make me feel better. No, really. It's true. The only reason I'm still here at all is thanks to everyone who was there for me. My sis, my mother, Mr. Mondo, Nick, and you. If even one of you weren't there, I'm sure I wouldn't still be alive right now. That's why I would be strong. For all the people that were there for me when I needed them. That's all I can really do. But Mystic Maya, I'm impressed. You truly are the daughter of Mystic Misty. Sister Bikini, your mother, Mystic Misty, was a strong woman indeed. I want to tell you what she said to me that now. After dishonoring the good name of Karain, I don't have the right to face my daughter. But still, Maya is always in my thoughts, it's true. She'll always be with me until the day I die. Your spirit was with her. That's why your mother was so strong. Even at the end, I'm sure she had no regrets. She'll always be with me until the day I die, huh? There's a rule or something all masters are to follow, isn't there? To never take the charm off until the day you die. That's the master's talisman. The thing that Misty kept her heart. The thing that Misty kept by her heart and would never take off. It wasn't the container that was important, rather it was the contents. That's a photo? Ah! Mother. It's only natural for living creatures to fight to protect their own lives, but what makes us human is that we fight for others. But who do you fight for? How hard must you fight? That's a true measure of what human life is worth. We defense attorneys are warriors who are constantly challenged by that question. Oh my god. I can't, bro. Even when the battle's over and the bonds that connect us are severed, we always return. Time and time again. Mia, Maya, Pearls, Mr. Armando, and Maya's mother too. I learned that from all of the... This game does such a good job at like delivering gut punches like this. Like when Iris apologized to Phoenix, and then, you know, Phoenix drops like, just says one thing in return, and then oh my gosh, it's so good. Well, shall we get going? Everyone is waiting. Ah, this is a day to remember. A day when a lot of things were finally put to rest. I think we should celebrate what we've overcome today. But I still can't. Oh, go on, sweetie. You can come back for training anytime. Okay. Alright. I'm gonna make a brand new start too. Since the beginning, I'll be back for more training, I promise. I know, and I won't go easy on you just because you're the future master. I'll make sure to prepare reservations for 3 for when you come back. Okay, yeah. Okay. Wow! Alright, we're going to have a great feast today, Pearly. You know why? Because training is a battle of endurance. Okay, Mystic Maya, I'll eat lots and lots of food tonight. You know, there's one thing I don't get, and probably don't want to, but... What is it, Nick? Reservations for training is fine and all. But why for 3? Come on, what do you think? You're one of us, Nick. Next time you can train right alongside us. Huh? I'll be waiting for you. Sister Bikini will take special care of you. Huh? It'll be great, Nick. We're gonna do the special course naturally. Cooked. Phoenix is cooked. Huh? That's a great idea. After all, Mr. You'd do anything for Mystic Maya, wouldn't you? Even walk on hot coals, right? We'll have a nice big meal before you come next time, right, Nick? You know, I was wondering if I can say just one little thing. Sure. Of course you can. Oh, he's gonna object. Oh, I love this part. I can't wait to hear it. I'm getting goosebumps too. Well then, here goes nothing.
Objection!
Oh my god. This okay. Oh, this leitmotif. I really have to work extra hard now. Master of Kurain and the ops manager of Brighton co-offices. I have to be a good big sister to Pearly and Nick too. Well, as long as I'm not locked up or captured or something like that. 07 AA trilogy? Yeah. So it's true. Mr. Nick really is Mystic Maya's knight in shining armor. He went through with a special course all the way to the end. Oh my god. Actually, I heard there's a legendary extra special ultra course here too. I think I'll surprise the two of them by making them a secret reservation. Maggie bought me a brand new coat as a present, pal. Oh shit, it's not shabby. I feel 10 years younger. I'll never take it off. Yes, but somehow you just don't seem the same. I guess a dirty, shabby old overcoat is just more detective-like, sir. Don't worry about it. In the name of love, a man will soil himself silly? I get what he's trying to say. I don't think he cooked with that line, though. I don't think that's Riz, bruh. Mr. Wright, I'm once again in your debt. Thanks to you, the Treasure of Kurain exhibit was a great success. I even got to see Miss Von Karma, who I haven't seen for almost a year. She taught me how to use a whip and said that I must show you what I've learned. You stick to cooking glizzies? This is Maya's theme. Destiny and I started a company called Master Mask Clothing. We're dedicated to stopping the evil plans of all the criminals in the city. Our motto is, cut it out, please. Pretty cute, huh? Well, we'll also sell plans to the criminals as a kind of side business. I wonder if that's okay. Sometimes I think maybe we're the worst criminal. I wanted to show my appreciation to Mr. Wright for exterminating Don Tingray. So I lent him $500,000 and a tea set. A special thick tea, one I mixed with my own two hands. I bet he's drinking it now. Win through compromise. Da, 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 da. At least that's what I thought. Well, my grandkids had a birthday party for me the other day. Talk about embarrassing. 69 years old, and I cried like a baby with a dirty diaper. I want 500,000 bucks? Yeah. We've hired a new programmer to replace Glenn Elg. I do hope everyone will get along. His name is Adam Mata. Another palindrome. As soon as I heard his name, I knew our brain circuits would align perfectly. As a loan from a loan shark? I know, that's scary. My, more reporters. Since the murder, we made so much money, I hardly know what to do. I think the magazines like us because I provide such a nice visual, especially in spring. I can hardly wait for Iris to come back. Wow! Ho, ho, ho. You've turned into such a respectable man, Feeny. Reggie Tiger's a palindrome? Oh, hell nah! Of course, I was happy that you constantly had your eyes on me, but I felt kind of bad when the little one slapped you so hard you got a nosebleed.
Objection.
Objection!
Oh. Old bag. What's this? I'm back from a long and tiring vacation. No one is here to greet me? I guess since while I was gone, my little whippersnapper buddy quit. Now I've got no one. And the kind of lonely, crazy security room is supposed to be anyway. What with all the flashing lights and switches, I feel it's like some sort of space alien. And now what am I going to do with all these macadamias I brought back for everyone? If I bring them over to Edgy I know exactly what you say. I really can't accept these, I'm afraid. Or something just as painful as fragile. Or, oh, when I ever find a gentleman who takes me, I ever find a... Oh my god. So... What now? Yeah, what now? I finally found something I love to do. Franzi's whippity whip trip is gonna turn the art world on its head. I should have realized it sooner. Self-centered, lazy, antisocial. I'm an artist, a really good portrait artist. I'm not a loser after all. Aww. Oh, this is Larry. Larry drew this. Oh my god. Damn. A lawyer only cries once it's all over. Oh my gosh. That was that's definitely one of my favorite cases. Like, since someone asked what was my favorite final case, this is probably up there. Like, the writing behind it, the mystery, I think it all adds up. You know, the character arcs, the characters. Yeah, oh my god. It does tie everything pretty well, you know. Morgan's, like, you know, revenge plan, the introduction of Dahlia. I mean, it is kind of like the whole, like, everything's connected, you know. Dahlia is actually the sister of, like, what's called, of someone close to you, but also this was spurred on like the flashbacks, or like there's like 3 different cases, you know. 1 hour 30 minutes till maintenance ends. There's maintenance? I'm not playing fucking Yu-Gi-Oh right now. I'm not even gonna pull packs, so I didn't even realize maintenance is around. I don't even remember that MD main. Yeah, I didn't even. It's not that I don't. I'm not saying I was like. But I have no plans to play Yu-Gi-Oh. That's all. Like, So, okay. I'm gonna end the YouTube stream because I'm done with. I'm gonna restart the YouTube stream a bit because we are gonna be playing Pokopia. Oh, wrong one. So, okay. YouTube stream. BRB.